It's the NFC West.
The NFC West. All right.
Seattle ended up winning the conference.
Who's got that
The
division?
Rams,
You, Johnny?
That's
your division?
No, that's Vinny's.
It's Vinny's.
Yeah.
We want to start with Vinny?
I'm gonna give a quick breakdown from 2025 of how it shaked out.
Is he going first? We want somebody else to go first.
No, I'm gonna talk about what happened in 2025 real quick, and then whoever wants to go first and go first. I think we should see if Vinny can get home.
Okay, you're going to go over all the divisions real quick.
I don't have good service, Mike. I keep cutting out. Sorry.
So the Rams looked like the best team out of that conference for a lot of the year. Seattle ended up being the best. And San Francisco snuck into the playoffs and then won a playoff game. So that looked like the best division in the NFC last year, the West.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina charged late and ended up winning that division because Tampa Bay fell off after Baker Mayfield injuries that he was nursing all season. The Saints came on a little bit stronger late, kind of taking advantage of a week late schedule. But nobody from that division was really competitive in the playoffs, or would have been anyways. Philadelphia won the NFC East by default because the Cowboys had a historically bad defense and the Giants were poor all year. And Washington had also somewhat of a historically bad defense.
And injuries.
And injuries as well. The NFC North was almost as interesting as the West. Chicago somehow kind of cruised to winning that division for the second half of the season. Both Minnesota and Detroit were in contention for a wild card spot up to week 16. And then they played each other in week 17. Minnesota won that one, but neither of them ended up making the playoffs. Green Bay made the playoffs and got beat, I believe, by San Francisco in the wild card round. Oh no, it wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been San Francisco. They were both wild card teams. So I don't remember who ended up beating Green Bay. But that's what happened. So whoever would like to go first, you can go into your predictions for 2026.
Sure, I can go first. So I had the East. As you said, John, last year the Eagles won by default. What I expect to see this year is I'll maybe work my way bottom to top. I think the Giants will finish last again this year. I think they'll be better. They'll win a couple more games than they did last year. I think Harbaugh will help. But I'm not sold on Jackson Dart, and I think there's still a lot to desire from that organization. So I don't see them making huge strides this year. The Commanders, as you mentioned, their defense was pretty horrible, bottom 5 of the league last year, offensive or passing and rushing. And I don't think that Jaden Daniels, even with a full healthy season, is going to make much of a difference there. He's not gonna cover that up. So I see them being much like they were last year. I don't see them making much of a difference. Maybe winning a game or two more, but nothing major if he can stay healthy. And that's a big question. Jaden Daniels' health is and will continue to be a question because of just his frame, his body style, or his body type, his play style. I think that injuries will always be a question mark for Jaden Daniels. At the top, I see the Eagles falling in second here in the division. I think their slide is going to continue. I don't see them turning anything around. They're aging on defense, and that's a key part for them. They've been a really good defense the last number of years, and that defense is aging, and they need that defense to play effectively for them to play the way they want to offensively. I think the rushing game last year was not an outlier. I think it was a sign of things to come. Their success the few years before that, I see as they had an extremely good offensive line, and that offensive line played with excellent cohesion, and that allowed them to have success both running the ball and throwing the ball in previous years. I think that deterioration in their ability to run the ball is not going to turn around. I think they'll have similar struggles this year running the ball, and I don't think Jalen Hurts can carry an offense. And there's also questions for them in their receiving core. You know, Brown's gone now. There's questions about who's going to fill that spot. I know they've got they made a couple of moves. They're hoping that some of their younger guys can fill in, but that's a big hole for them in the receiving core. So I see them sliding. Them continue to slide this year, and that last year was not an outlier, but actually a sign. And then the Cowboys, I think all the Cowboys need is average defense. If they can get average defense, they'll win the division pretty easily, I think. Their offense is basically coming back completely intact. And they had a really good offense last year. Top 5 offense last year, bottom 5 defense last year. So if they can get middle of the road defense this year, I think they can easily win the division. And then just kind of one thing in general is with Dallas and with Philadelphia, they have pretty tough schedules. If you look at their schedules, they play a lot of playoff teams. So they have tough schedules to play through this year. I think that could, limit the number of wins, but I still think that's the way it falls out. Dallas at 1, Philadelphia at 2, Washington and New York at 3 and 4. I'm not sold on whether one will be better than the other, honestly, in the bottom, but that's where I have it now. I have the Giants at 4 and Washington at 3.
So you got Giants at 4, Washington at 3.
Mm-hmm.
You see, so you got Philly at 2 and Dallas winning the division.
Yep.
Right. I can't say that I disagree with the way you had the teams ranked. It's hard for me to imagine Dallas winning the division because of how bad their defense was last year. But Philly's bringing in a first-time play caller to be the offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. And I agree with you. The issues they had running the ball last year were structural. I mean, it was offensive line deterioration. And I don't think that a new OC is going to come in and be able to fix that. They were old on the offensive line already. Lane Johnson already said this is going to be his last season. And I don't think the Eagles are going to have enough. So I think Dallas is going to look – I think they're going to look up and down all season. I think there's going to be times when the defense really flashes. But I think they're probably going to start a little bit slow defensively. I think through 6 weeks or so, that entire division is going to look kind of like a disaster.
Yeah.
But I think Dallas could end up being pretty competitive. So,
and you got Parsons coming back. They're expecting Parsons week 6
in Green Bay.
They're expecting. Yeah, they're expecting him to start and to be back to play by the Green Bay game. So, we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I totally agree on the Eagles. Sean Mannion, their offensive coordinator, completely unproven. He was an offensive assistant in Green Bay. And before that, he was just a quarterback. So I think he's unproven as far as offensive coordinating and calling plays goes. So I don't think their offense will have any type of spark or anything like that coming in. And yeah, all the other offensive predictions I think is right on point. I think Dallas is going to look better, especially by the end of the season. So I think it's kind of a dumpster fire of a division.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of hype right now about Dallas. I'm not sure why. I did some kind of looking around. There seems to be a lot of hype around Dallas right now. But I don't think it's because Dallas is going to be so much better. I just think the division's kind of going to be a mess. I kind of agree with that analysis.
I have the same listing you did, 1 through 4. Of course, I didn't do as deep a dive as you. I just kind of looked at it, and did a little bit of looking, but I think Philadelphia's on the road down. I just have a feeling about that. 30 plus sacks a year on their quarterback. He's aging. He's had some injuries, and he's not a guy that can save your team. We know that. So, and I just think Dallas is, I think the best team in the division overall. So, the two bottom teams are such questions at quarterback that I don't know how you could think about them as playoff teams. But Philly and Dallas both, I think, potential playoff teams.
Yeah, I think potentially both playoff teams. Yeah, I mean potentially both playoff teams. I could see them both being in. As far as the Giants, I think the Giants are actually going to draft in the top 10 again. I think it's going to be a little slow starting. They have, I think Greg Roman on staff? They have 2 former offensive coordinators for Harbaugh on staff in New York.
Mm.
And with sort of conflicting schemes and kind of conflicting philosophies. I could see it being slow to get rolling. I mean, who knows how many games Jackson Dart's going to be healthy for? Because I mean, I like the play style, but he does get banged up quite a bit. And with the modern concussion rules and all that, it's I mean, they force guys to come out of games and they force guys to miss time. Even if they're not necessarily, honestly, even if they're not concussed. I mean, just to be frank, I mean, even if guys are objectively not concussed, they're still making guys miss time.
Well, if you show any
or
symptom,
miss a drive,
any
right,
symptom whatsoever, yeah,
right, and that could be one drive in a game that influences everything, or a couple plays out of a drive, especially in crunch time.
It is Greg Roman. He's on there as like an offensive assistant. And Matt Nagy's going to call plays.
Oh, it's Matt Nagy. That's right. It's Matt Nagy. So I honestly think it's a future move. You know, it's a future move. I think they're prepared to build for the future. I don't think they're going to be put out much at all if this year's kind of a disaster. I almost think they want to draft high.
I kind of agree. I think the Harbaugh move makes me think they're going to try to give him the ability to kind of build things the way he wants to look. And so
which they did. They kept Joe Shane. They kept the same GM who's been there for a long time. And they don't. I mean, they honestly, like, people were calling for Dayball's head last offseason and a little bit the year before as well. So they do like to stick with coaches for a little bit, and then keeping the same GM and taking a run with Harbaugh. Doesn't look like a 1 year. It doesn't look like that Pete Carroll situation in Vegas where it was like, let's bring him in, and if it doesn't work right away, we'll just move on.
Right.
And he's significantly younger. But yeah, I think they'll end up drafting in the top 10. I think Washington. Man, I don't see any improvement on their defense.
No,
honestly, I think their defense is going to be just as bad as it was last year. Whereas Dallas, I think there is hope for some significant improvement defensively. They've made some moves roster wise on their defense, and it's not unheard of to have a turnaround. I kind of assumed it was because of how bad they were, but I went through the last few years of teams that finished in the bottom 10 as far as percentile goes. And how they ended up being the next season. And a good number of them improved to somewhere in the 30s, somewhere in the 40s.
Yeah. That's the thing. They don't need to turn around to be a top 10 defense. Right. I think for Washington to be a playoff team or to really have, much chance at being successful, they would need their defense to be a top 10 defense, right? They would need to have that kind of a turnaround. Dallas doesn't. Dallas just needs a serviceable defense, and I think they can win a lot of games.
Right. And I mean, we all had Dak. I mean, we had Dak as a consensus top 5 or 6 quarterback.
Yeah.
Which makes a difference compared to Jaden Daniels, who I don't consider a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL, even when he's healthy.
Even when
And
he's
then-
healthy, I completely agree. Yeah.
Right. I mean, Marcus Mariota was playing better in the time that he got to play. And if you're just back and forth between two vastly different quarterback styles, it just doesn't look great. I do like them signing Diggs because, I mean, for all his issues and his age, he's one of the best route runners in the NFL. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So we went to Oregon for Kathy's mom's 80th birthday and a family reunion this last weekend. And I watched like 7 Patriots games, and Diggs was just everywhere. I mean, on the flight, because I was trying to get a better feel for Drake May. But I mean, Diggs, so crucial for them all season, so impactful for them. Just a masterful route runner, without a doubt.
Yeah.
So I do like that for Washington, but I don't think that's going to be enough to move the needle for a team that's just poor.
Yep.
And then the question comes in, what do you do with Dan Quinn? Because I think they signed him as sort of a long-term hope, but if they're convinced that their quarterback is good, and if they've convinced themselves that some of the moves they've made, like the Diggs signing, is enough to get them to make them competitive, and then they win 6 games, I could see a knee-jerk firing because they have a new ownership group too from the last couple of years. I mean, it's big money ownership. They want to win. They want success.
Well, and Quinn's a defensive guy, right? And they've had
Right.
a bottom 5 defense. So that in and of itself makes me think he's got to be on the hot seat.
Right. Offensive coordinator in Washington, David Blow. He was the Blau.
I wasn't laughing at the name.
Immunity.
I was just laughing at Washington's offense with
Yeah.
a defensive head coach and a guy running the offense that's kind of an unknown dude. He doesn't have a lot of no cachet.
He was their assistant quarterbacks coach.
Yeah.
Because I think Cliff Kingsbury was the OC, and I think Kingsbury took the QB coach role as well.
And
So I mean, another new OC,
and they got to deal with 5 with Jaden Daniels. I mean,
Yes.
I don't see any success there with that offense. They don't have have what it takes to rein that in and keep that productive.
No, I don't think so. So I think we're all pretty much in agreement with that ranking. Now, as far as Dallas goes, do any of you think Dallas is competitive for making the NFC Championship game or making it into the Super Bowl? Considering, I mean, gosh, looking through it, the NFC's not very top heavy. It's in my power ratings, I got the Rams and Seattle up at the top, and then I got like 7 AFC teams before the next NFC team pops up, and it's Green Bay and Detroit. They're both there in that 9-10 spot.
I mean, it depends on how things shape up defensively. Like I said, if they get above average defensive play, they could be good, right? But there's a lot of questions there. I don't think we'll know until halfway through the season what things are going to kind of look like for them.
Yeah,
It could be later.
Yeah, at this point you got to look at it and say, other than LA and Seattle, possibly they're not. I don't think they're quite a shoe in. But other than those 2 teams, there's 5 teams that could make that NFC Championship.
Right.
Because
They've
middle of the pack can make that NFC Championship if someone has a bad year.
yeah.
Someone gets hurt late.
Yeah, the interesting thing is this year, both weeks 17 and 18 are in January. So Thanksgiving is more toward the middle of the season because, you know what I mean? Typically, it's considered kind of late middle of the season because then you play through December and you're already into the playoffs. But with how the longer schedule is shaping out, I mean, it could be mid-December before anybody really sees Dallas as a contender. And that's all it would take, because if they do start slow defensively, but come on pretty strong as the year goes, I don't know. It could be quite a while before we can definitively say whether Dallas is real or not.
And like I said, they have one of the tougher schedules, so it's gonna be tough for them to kind of make it work. You know what I mean?
They do. I was just about to pull that up. Is it tough all the way down, or is it a little bit backloaded?
It's kind of mixed in there actually. There's a couple up front and then a couple toward the end.
Yeah. Their
Yeah,
last 2 weeks are division games, Giants and Commanders. But before that, I mean, it's Eagles, Seahawks, Rams, and Jags.
Yep. And then at the beginning, you got Houston, Tampa Bay, Green Bay, and Philadelphia, and Baltimore.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just you got a bunch of playoff teams in there, right? And maybe those teams aren't playoff teams this year, but they were last year. So looking at the schedule right now, right, that looks tough. They've got some strings of games. They got San Francisco right in the middle too.
Right. Late bye week too.
Yeah, it's not like they're gonna have time to work into it. You know.
Mm-mm.
So it may, like you said, it may take a while to see if they have been able to make the improvements they need there.
I mean, if they rip off some wins though, if they're sitting at 7 wins going into their bye or 8 wins going into their bye week, that late bye week helps for deep playoff teams. I mean, Denver had a late bye week last year, and that ended up because they were able to rip off a bunch of wins before the bye. That ended up being massively crucial for them.
Yeah, the benefit to them is, like we all talked about, we really see this division being a mess. We don't. It's not like we're sitting here thinking the Eagles and Dallas are both like real deal playoff teams. And so if you're not playing well the whole year, the Eagles are just going to take you over. It's not going to be like that, at least not from what we're seeing. So they could kind of, you know, have it come together late and be a force.
I mean, they could be a wild card team that ends up as a road favorite.
Yep.
Depending on how they finish out the year.
Totally.
Yeah, I'm curious. What was their win total?
Last year?
7-9.
7-9-1.
7-9-1.
Oh yeah, they tied the
9.5.
Right?
Yeah, they had a tie. Yeah, they tied Green Bay.
Their odds are at 9.5. So the market's pretty high on them.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing. I was seeing a lot of hype around them. I think people are anticipating them being better this year just because their offense was so good and their defense was so bad.
It was so bad. It's hard for me to justify a 9.5 over under. I'd bet the under if I was going to bet on them.
Yeah, I mean, this could be one of those years where this division has a 9-win team win the division.
It's happened before. It happened not long ago.
Yep.
It'll look like the South from last year, where the division winners got 8 or 9 wins.
Yeah, Carolina sneaking in at the end and winning the division.
Yeah. All right. So we can go ahead and move on to the NFC South.
Woohoo. Okay, I threw this one out there and said you guys would have to bid on it because everybody loves Baker Mayfield so much.
Yeah.
But, I got stuck with it.
We didn't need to bid on it because we all know how we feel about it.
It's a terrible division.
Yeah, so true.
I mean, it's a terrible division.
It is a pretty terrible division.
So the way, let's see, let me just start. There might be a couple surprises here. I don't know. I'll start at the bottom, and I think contrary to what a lot of people I'm seeing talk about, I got Atlanta last. I think their quarterback situation is just a dumpster fire. So
yeah, no doubt.
They got 2 left-handed quarterbacks. Neither one of them can play, and they don't know who's going to start. They got concussion Tua, and they got Penix, who's not even cleared to play yet. So from a team that had a pretty good offense last year overall, they were ranked pretty high. What were they overall? Let's see. They were
8-9.
Oh, wins and losses 8-9.
Yeah, 8-9. They finished third in the division, but all 3 teams finished 8-9.
They were right, yeah, and they were right in the middle, passing wise, rushing wise. They were really good. They're going to be really good rushing the ball again. They got a couple good running backs. They're going to run the ball pretty well. I just don't see them putting a lot of points on the board, and if they do, I think they're going to throw a lot of picks. So I put them last in the division, and then just above them, I've got New Orleans. New Orleans is a pretty decent team, but they got a lot to go. They got a long way to go. I think their quarterback's got a bit to go, even though I think he's got some potential. They had some good yardage last year, passing yards. You know, they threw the ball pretty well overall. So I think that was good for them. I have them. Basically, I've got 3 teams now that are even. They're pretty even competitively. New Orleans, Carolina, and Tampa Bay. So I got New Orleans at 3rd. I've got Carolina number 2. They won the division last year. I think they got better as the year went on, even though they snuck in and they weren't that good a team. But they were better than they were at the beginning of the year. Their defense, they made a few changes. They got a couple starters, a couple good draft picks. So I think their defense is going to be pretty good. Last year, their defense was pretty low. I mean, they were probably the 3rd best defense in the division last year. I think they'll be better this year. And I'm not sold on their quarterback either, although I think he's becoming a consistently average at best quarterback. Given that in this division, I think he could get them over the top. They could win the division again, I think. And then at the first place in that division, I've got Tampa Bay. Their defense, not really impressed with the defense. Give up a lot of points. They got a quarterback who's in a contract year, having some problems with the organization. I kind of think it's a put up or shut up for him. He's the kind of guy that he'll put in the 70-hour weeks. He wants to get paid after this year. He doesn't want to be in Tampa Bay. So, you know, I think he's going to be all in on trying to get as many wins as they can, which he always is anyway. But I think he'll have a little extra motivation this year to do that. I think they should have won the division last year. They were the best team in the division, I believe. So I think they'll win it this year. And as far as playoffs go, the division winner will make the playoffs. Nobody else will.
So all in all, pretty similar outlook to last year.
It's the same
with a
division as
few-
last year overall, because
Yeah.
you're going to have a bunch of teams that have 7 to 9 wins. You're going to probably 3 teams that'll have 7 to 9 wins, you know, and then,
Yep.
you know, Atlanta, I don't think Atlanta will get to 7, but that's just me.
Yeah.
So I think
No, I
they'll
totally
be more
agree.
like 5 or 6.
Yeah, a big, you know, one of the things I'm interested to see is what happens with New Orleans this year. They seem to be kind of teetering on that razor's edge, right? They could fall back, right, and just look like New Orleans, or that they could make some strides this year. I see. I'm just kind of curious. I don't think they're gonna push for a division win or anything, but I think they could be making strides this year.
Where did
That's
they
at least
finish?
my
What was their record last year? I didn't put a note of that. But I think
Last year,
6 and
pull it
11.
up.
yeah, I think I think they could win 8 or 9 games this year.
Yeah.
New Orleans. You know,
I think if there's
which
one
would be a
team,
progression.
yeah, I think the Saints win total is set at 7.5. I think they're the team that could be the surprise team of the division. I think everybody else. I think everybody else is exactly what you said, and I think the Saints are exactly what you said too. But their defense was 72nd percentile last year, which is kind of surprisingly better than I thought they were. So, I mean, if the quarterback is
Serviceable.
yeah, well, serviceable. If he takes a big step forward and shows some of the potential or achieve some of the potential that he showed last year. Looking at their schedule, they finish off with Buccaneers and Falcons. And it's pretty evenly loaded throughout this season. But I think Tony's right. They're sort of razor's edge. Honestly, I could see him end up winning the division. I don't expect him to. I think Tampa Bay will, but I wouldn't be surprised in the least if the Saints end up winning that division.
Yeah,
I
honestly,
could also see him finishing fourth.
I could see
third.
Tampa, New Orleans, or Carolina winning the division. I could see it that way.
Yeah,
I
agree with that. I see it. I see Atlanta falling. I see Tampa and Carolina kind of holding pat. I see New Orleans having the opportunity to make a lead.
Yeah.
The interesting part about
defensive coordinator is Steichen. Sorry, what's that?
I was gonna say for Carolina, just looking at their record from last year, going game by game, they were so inconsistent on the offensive side of the ball. They'll put up 30 points against a decent defense, and then the next week they'll get shut out. Just total inconsistency, and I think that's obvious with the quarterback that they have. So I don't see Carolina getting any better. If anything, some of those wins that were like, who the hell is this team, can get taken away, in which case New Orleans would take that second or first spot.
Yeah, I could see that. And, with the Saints, I think the biggest key for me with the Saints when I was looking at it in a little more depth was they turned the ball over last year like crazy. But what is it? I think they had like 29 or 30 turnovers. You got a lot of room for improvement there if you can make that. Let's see, they were 29th in the league in turnovers is what it was.
Yeah, they had 24 turnovers last year.
Yeah, so if they could get that down in the 15 or 13,
yeah, that already gets you a couple of wins there.
That gets you to 7 or 8 wins, and then if your quarterback improves, that's good. I mean, I think they got a shot, but
yeah, I think Tampa is an interesting one to me because you're right, Dad. Like their defense is not good. They give up a lot of points, and their offense really doesn't have the tools to outscore people.
No,
right? They have to be willed to every win, and that is just a tough way to play every single week. You got to will yourself to every single win offensively because your defense is just going to give up points. You got to score more than 30 points every week, and you don't have the 30 point a week's skill set. That they just don't have it. So
no, they don't.
They're going to struggle to win the division again this year. I agree with the assessment. I think they're the best team in the league, mostly because they have the most consistent quarterback play. But they could easily fall. Could easily lose a couple of those games that in the past they've been able to just will to win. Those fall the other way, and they could fall to third.
And I don't think their weapons in terms of on the outside wide receiver play is very good. I think Egbuka kind of got shut out last year a little bit after his really hot start to the season. He started to drop off a little bit. Looks like they had some tendencies that got picked up there. And I don't think Bake has anybody else really to throw the ball to consistently. And Bucky Irving got hurt quite a bit as well. So
the biggest injured too.
Yeah, the biggest thing with Egbuka is Mike Evans goes down, and then Egbuka was the only guy, and his production goes way down at that same time, right? Mike Evans was at least somebody who took some of the attention away from Egbuka. That's why he was so hot early, because Evans was there. Once Evans goes down, their offense was just a stall.
And now Evans is in San Francisco, so I don't know if they have anything to address that.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, the more we talk about this, Tampa Bay's defense was 19th percentile with the defensive head coach.
And Vita Vea is probably going to get traded before the season too.
That's a possibility. That's a possibility. They did add guys on defense. They kind of made a focus of that. But
yeah, they did. Vita Vea is not going to sit out games though. Oh yeah,
No,
Ruben
no.
Bain. I did like that Ruben Bain draft.
They
pick,
got
actually.
Ruben Bain. They got the other dude, that long haired blonde dude, that Angelos.
Anzalone, yeah,
Anzalone,
from
yeah,
Detroit.
from
yeah.
Detroit.
Yeah.
He's decent. And then they got another edge guy, some Muslim guy. Yeah, let me see here. I had
Allahu
another
Akbar.
note here. They drafted Trotter in the second round. So
Okay.
they got some linebacking help.
Yeah, and rookies start slow, so we'll see.
They do. Yep. But
So there's
their
a chance
their
their
schedule's
defense
not a
could
killer.
Man, I think their offense is going to struggle to be.
That's
They hit the highs that it hit last season, or has over the last few years. Yeah, no, the offensive line is pretty good.
The other part that's a question there is they've got a new OC. Right?
Yeah, they do.
Zach Robinson is their new OC. And where did he come from? The Rams? Did he come from the Rams?
Falcons.
Falcons. Okay. So got a new OC. So a lot to be seen there.
Goodness,
Yeah.
there are just unproven play calling OCs all over the league.
Mm-hmm.
It's odd.
It's a trend.
It's odd.
It seems like a trend.
It seems like a trend that started by proven guys, though. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
like Ben Johnson was a known commodity calling plays, right? He wasn't like a first-time play caller showing up in Chicago. Right.
No, I mean this offseason specifically. What is that?
Yeah,
Five teams, 6 teams?
There's
With
a lot.
First-time play callers?
And it causes me hesitancy on all the teams that are doing that. I mean, Philly.
Well, the weird thing with
Washington,
Tampa Bay is
Tampa.
now that you
Denver.
mentioned that's Atlanta.
Detroit.
Robinson came from Atlanta in the division.
Right.
He's coming from the same division.
So I guess he was the OC last year, but who was the head coach last year in Atlanta? Raheem Morris?
More.
Is that who it
Morris.
was?
Raheem Moore.
Yeah.
Raheem Moore. So he was running the offense last year then in Atlanta.
And actually Atlanta's offense last year was
So he's
I liked their offense,
actually maybe
and he
the
was
best
rush heavy.
OC hire.
You were rush heavy,
I
but
think that's a good.
they also have one of the top 5 running backs in the league in Atlanta. So it's easy to be run heavy.
True.
When you got Bijan Robinson.
And I think Bucky Irving is top tier as well when he's healthy.
That's true. So yeah,
He just
maybe
had
that's
concussions and different
maybe that's
problems
their
last year.
focus.
But
Yeah.
if Bucky Irving is healthy, he's a pretty sweet in between the tackles runner.
I think we'll know by Thanksgiving where Tampa Bay's at.
I think we'll know where Tampa Bay's at, but I don't think we'll know where the division's at. I honestly think it's going to look like last year. Yeah,
But
I think it's going to look like last year.
I think we'll know whether they're scraping to win the division or whether they're winning it easily.
Yeah, agreed.
Because they opened Bengals, Browns, Vikings, Packers, Cowboys. That's not a brutal stretch.
no.
Yeah,
When
a couple of tough games, but
when I looked at their schedule, that looked to me like they're looking at the best they can do to start is 6-2, and the worst they can do is 4-4 is what I'm looking at.
Right.
And if they go 6-2, they're going to win 9 or 10 games. And if they go 4-4, they're going to win, 7, 8, 9 games.
Yeah.
And if you win 9, you got a chance to win your division in that division.
Right.
Definitely. I think if you win 9, you win the division. Buccaneers have the best odds, and they're 8.5. 8.5 is their win total.
Yeah.
So everybody else is 7.5. 7.5. Falcons are actually 6.5 to 7.5, depending on which book. But yeah,
I mean, the division winner won 8 games last year.
It's so weak.
And the 2 teams below them also won 8
Also
games.
won 8 games.
Yeah, exactly.
What an odd division.
This division has been like this for a decade.
Forever. As long as you can
When
remember.
Cam Newton went to the Super Bowl, it was like this. They won 8 games and went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, since the Saints came down off of their absolute peak this has been the division.
Well,
It's been
and
a
when they
shit
were
show.
there, it was the Saints, and then everybody else was bottom feeders. The whole division was down, like, way at the bottom. It was just the Saints who were having consistent success.
They had the magic Brady year in Tampa Bay that was after Breeze.
They did.
That's
They
kind
had
of the
that 1
only
year.
outlier for that division. And when Matt Ryan was still at Atlanta, there was a couple of years where they were,
They did.
But
it's either like
consistently
this
good.
or there's one team that pops
One
out
team better.
and everybody
Yeah.
else just stays down here.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan took them to the playoffs in 2008, 10, 11, 12, 16, and 17. So there was a few years there where Atlanta was pretty good.
Yeah.
And that was tail end of New Orleans, so that was kind of a little bit of overlap there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yep. But it's been short-lived. Anybody winning the division comfortably has been short-lived. It's been a year or two here or there.
Yep.
So we can move on to the West. Vinny, take it away.
Yeah. So this one, I've got one big question mark right in the middle. But we'll start at the bottom. I've got the Cardinals 4th. I think they might sneak a few wins, more wins than they had last year. Last year they finished at 3-14. Or only, I don't know how many losses, but they definitely only had 3 wins. But I think they got rid of Kyler Murray. They're rebuilding a little bit. I think they might finish around 5 wins, just kind of depending how it shakes out. And then I've got the Rams winning the division. I know they drafted a quarterback, but I don't think that they're going to drop off a whole lot from last year. I think their mindset is Matthew Stafford is on his way out. Let's get a guy to learn from him for a couple of years. I don't think it's going to be this year when you start to see that drop off. So I think they're going to win the division. And then my big question mark here is the 49ers. They've got so much firepower that they could go off. But I personally think that they're on the tail end of the Super Bowl push they've had. So I think the Seahawks are going to have a better season than them, and they're going to finish 2, and then the 49ers are going to finish 3. But 3-4 weeks into the season, it could be the complete opposite. The 49ers could be what they thought they've been the last few years, and then they're fighting the Rams for that 1 seed. So I've got Rams, Seahawks, 49ers, Cardinals, but that 2-3 spot is really my big question mark.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you there. San Francisco, it's all about health. They are aged. They're an aged team. You're right. Their window is closing, if not closed.
Yeah.
We're going to find out this year if it's closed. And I think odds are it is, to be honest, from a health perspective. I don't see them holding together for a whole year. That's just been the trend. They're an aged team, and I think the window is closing.
Yeah, and I think all it takes at this point with the history they've had in recent years is one injury. Like, they don't even have to have a year where they're losing 3 or 4 guys, but I think one guy goes down, and mentally that organization is just going to crumble a little bit. This is happening again.
The other thing, I have San Fran finishing 3rd for sure.
Yeah.
They have injuries riddled across the board. They get an old Mike Evans. Seems like a desperation move.
Right.
Mike Evans is not the guy he was 4 or 5 years ago. Then they bring back Deebo Samuel, a guy who you already cut. You already got this guy out of your building. You didn't want him anymore. And he was playing pretty well at the time, but he was too much of a problem. And now he's just washed. He's completely washed. He's fat. You bring him back into the building, that seems like a desperation move. George Kittle's injury riddled, super old. I think they're just decimated on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, new defensive coordinator as well, and you got your best defensive players coming back off of injuries.
Yep.
And then you're practicing in Mordor, so there's tons of problems there as well. It just
you know what I heard though? I heard that they're going to send the Locky virus over to that substation and shut it down for 6 months. It's going to have a malware attack.
Yeah, I agree, Willie. I think all the moves that they've made that you could look at as being,
it just looks
they
like
all seem like
scramble.
That. The only
it just looks like a scramble.
question mark is that could pay off for a year. So I think regardless of how this season ends up, if they have a really good year or not, I think that's it. I think
that's the key. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I think what could keep them in the mix is obviously some injury luck offensively.
Yeah.
I think their defense is likely to be serviceable at least. It was pretty bad last year for Niners standard, but I think the
they made a
defense
change
but,
there too. They've got a
Fred
new
Warner
DC.
was out all year.
Mhm.
Yeah, they bring in Raheem Morris to be the DC.
They got it. And Raheem Morris is a defensive coordinator. He's not a head coach.
Yeah, no, I think I
He
like
could
him
really
as the DC.
stabilize that.
Yeah, I think so,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yep.
But then I mean, look, Kyle Shanahan is pretty proven to not be able to not put poor offenses out there.
Right.
Last year they had to patch a lot together around injuries. I think Brock Purdy is severely underrated. Generally.
So do I.
Yep.
I really think he fits that scheme well, and I think he can kind of help duct tape hold the boat together a little bit. But yeah, like you guys nailed it. Their offensive line is super old, and they just every single skill guy has injuries. Their most stable skill guy is Kyle Juszczyk.
Yeah.
Juszczyk.
Fullback.
Yep.
And he's 36 years old or something like that.
Yep.
But McCaffrey,
He's wife guy.
massive injury. And McCaffrey, he's typically up and down every other year. So he was pretty healthy last year. He scored 19 touchdowns. I kind of expect him to have some injury problems this year. Right. Mike Evans has battled injuries the last couple of years. Deebo Samuel was always an injured guy. And again, you're getting 60% of what Deebo Samuel was for those 2 years at his peak.
Yep.
Who was that guy they drafted a couple years ago that got shot? The wide receiver from Florida. Goodness. He was going to be their number one receiver this year, and that's why they signed Mike Evans, is because he's going to miss the whole season. Gosh, what is his name? Anyway, so you're just looking at rough skill guys, but at the same time, it's a scheme that kind of works with limited talent, and the quarterback fits it really well.
Yeah.
So I think you're right to say that we don't know they're going to be a disaster.
Right.
I think you're right to say that they are a big question mark.
Two other things is last year they were fighting injuries offensively, and they finished with 11 wins still.
86 percentile offense last year. 86
yeah.
percentile.
I mean,
So it's still there. And the other thought process I was going through is with the Seahawks in particular is I think last year was a little bit of lightning in a bottle. I think teams getting more of them on film through the playoffs last year against different types of offenses and defenses. I don't think they're going to sustain that type of success they had last year. So again, it's a big question. I think you give it 3 weeks into the season, roughly a few weeks into the season, I think we'll have a better gauge based off of those two teams on where it's going to finish out. But right now it's a toss up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I do too.
More. Yep.
When I did my quick and dirty on this division, I think San Francisco is going to win 11 or 12.
That's right around where
they won 12 last year. And to be totally honest with you, I think Seattle might fall behind them.
Yeah, I did a rough estimate here. I had the 49ers around 11 or 12 wins. I had the Seahawks around 9 to 10 wins, honestly. But again, my thought process could change pretty quick.
And
49ers win total 10.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with Seahawks. Seahawks 10.5.
Seriously, Seahawks 10.5 is their over under? Is their win total? Really?
Yeah, win total 10.5. That's what this says.
Wow, everybody's thinking the same thing.
I'm a little more on the pessimistic. I'm a little more on the pessimistic side with the 49ers, but I do get what you're all saying.
Right.
I think the Shanahan offseason thing is a huge what the hell's going on there. I think the roster moves are crazy. I mean, it could easily happen, but I still think I don't even think they're hitting 10 wins just based on my prediction. If I'm going based off of just the writing on the wall that I see, I'll go I'll go take a little bit of a shot and say they're going like 7-8 wins.
Whoa.
Let's
Yeah,
check
it
out
could
the
be.
schedule right here.
It could be.
And again, like all these positives I'm bringing up, my logical brain here is still thinking that they're going to finish third. That's just there's that big
I
unknown.
And
agree.
it's
I
not
think
because I think Seattle's very good either. That's
Right.
not the point.
And,
no. If I was betting the line, I would bet the under. If they've got 10 and a half to the line, I'd bet the under. Even with all the positive that we're saying,
and everything. Yeah, to
look-
me,
Well, yeah,
San
10's a heck of
Francisco.
a number.
Mhm.
To me, San Francisco won 12 games last year. They're not going to be any different this year, and they're not going to be as good. They're going to be older. You know what I mean? Their warts are going to get bigger. But I think that they brought in Mike Evans. And I know he's aged. He's an old guy. But it's Mike Evans.
I think it's just injury
he's gonna
question.
Make him
I
better.
think if he's healthy, he's still an absolute stud. I think if
yeah.
he had been healthy all year last year, Tampa Bay easily wins the division.
They do. They win it. Yeah. They have
But
3
I
more
think the
wins.
injury thing is a real thing for him now because he is older. I
think it is.
I
I
think
think it is.
re-aggravating those injuries. The hamstring is specifically and that frequently becomes re-injured. The hamstring strain.
Yeah. If he can stay somewhat healthy, he's going to help them. They're going to be better with him.
Yeah.
Maybe not better than last year, but better than they would be without him for sure.
I mean, after the Rams week 1, you get Dolphins, Cardinals at home. That's nice.
Yeah.
Got 3.
And Denver, Seattle, but then you get Washington,
The Commanders.
Atlanta, Raiders, Cowboys with possibly a weak defense.
Vikings.
So, I mean, they have decent
Giants.
breaks
Yeah.
throughout the season.
do.
They
They
have
do
1 or
have
2
breaks.
weeks throughout the season.
They're playing a third place schedule.
Yeah.
They're playing third place.
And
I
last
think this
last
is
year they
I
played
think
a second
this Eagles
place
game is a
schedule, right?
break here.
I agree.
I think so. Yeah, I think last year was a second place schedule.
Yeah, that division to
Um,
me is extremely interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, these last 3 weeks, depending on how the season plays out, for specifically the Chiefs and the Eagles, I mean, this could be nice coming down the end of the season. It could be difficult, but it could be nice.
Yeah.
Where does it look like their bye weeks at? They
It
got an
doesn't
early
show
bye.
on there.
No, it doesn't. I have to kind of calculate in my head.
Weeks. It's early. It looks like it's in August, September.
10th,
It's after the Raiders.
4th.
Go up. It's after the Raiders in August.
Is it that? Well, no, this is preseason.
Oh, yeah. That's the only 2-week break that I saw.
Yeah.
25.
Oh, are they one of those teams that get screwed by Thanksgiving week?
They've got a 10-day wait there between the Chargers and the Chiefs. They got 10 days,
Yeah.
but that's a Thursday to the next Sunday. Probably.
Yeah, that's a Thursday to a Sunday.
They don't have
But
a
this
bye.
is a short one. No, I think it's that odd Thanksgiving thing. Because they're playing games on like Wednesday night. So teams with a bye week beforehand. Hold on.
I didn't even.
It's week 8. They play October 25th, and then they play in November 8th.
Oh, there it
It's
is.
in
I see. It
between.
there.
Oh, you're
Yep.
right. Yeah, I'm skipping over October 1st.
Oh,
You're
that's-
right. It's here.
That's great for them. After the Falcons and before the Raiders, they've got 4 weeks off right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
That's a real big break right in the middle.
right in the middle of these 3 teams.
Yeah, Commanders,
That's nice.
Falcons, bye week,
Raiders,
Raiders, Cowboys. Wow, that could really help them.
Yeah.
They should be
the
like
schedule
5
looks-
and 3 coming out of their bye week.
The schedule looks easily manageable, but I'm still sticking to it. They're going to be 8 wins.
It's on the record. He's got
So
it now.
okay,
All right.
so if they
I got to stick to my takes eventually. I got to be. We can't always
yeah.
all agree.
no,
No,
and
we
I don't
can't.
know. Yeah, I'm on there saying San Francisco's gonna be ahead of Seattle, but the Rams are gonna win. They're gonna win 12 to 13 games. And if
Yeah.
we're looking, I'm just curious with Willie. You got San Fran and Seattle, and if you think San Francisco is going to fall to like 7 or 8 wins,
Yeah.
where do you have Seattle win wise?
I don't know. I have to look. I didn't do this division.
Put them around
Does this-
11.
Does this now become one of the worst divisions?
No,
It does.
I don't think so, because I
maybe
think
not
Seattle.
worse, but it becomes far from what it has been for the last.
It becomes an average division.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Yes.
think it's going to look anything like everyone winning 8 or 9 games. 'Cause I
Last year
still
they
think
had a
Seattle would
14, a
be-
12, and a 12.
And a 3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's not going to be that.
and a
I don't
three.
think.
Yeah, this division is interesting, I think.
I think
I
Seattle
think-
will be right around 10, 11, and then San Fran will drop, and Arizona's going to look just as awful.
I think Seattle's going to be not great.
I agree. I think they're going to substantially.
So
think
they're
yeah,
gonna be
so
9 and
we
8.
are. So
I
we
thought
are
I was going to be
thinking.
the only one.
I
Yeah,
could
so
see
we are
9
thinking
out of
average.
Seattle.
Look, first time play calling offensive coordinator.
So we're
And their
thinking.
best
So yeah.
rushing threat, their best
And-
rusher, Super Bowl MVP is gone as well.
Yeah.
It just changes your
Darnold-
offense.
Look, Darnold was underrated for a lot of his career, but I mean that all still happened. His absolute struggles everywhere he went, him not being able to beat out Purdy for a starting job in San Francisco, which if you look at him in Minnesota and Seattle, you'd be like, how does he not beat out Purdy? Well, Purdy's a better quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean,
True.
and Purdy's somewhere around, what did we have? The highest someone had him, I think, on our list was 7, maybe 6.
Yeah.
I mean, Darnold's about average for a quarterback, maybe a bit above average.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have him about average as a starter. So
I
if your
think it's-
OC comes in and has a new system and struggles with play calling, and you have a defensive head coach who can't take over play calling responsibilities, I
don't like
wonder
the head
how,
coach either.
if their offense kind of comes off the rails, there's no fixing it.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's looking to me like you've got, and this is kind of what Vince was saying at the beginning. LA is a sure thing, right? They're going to win 12 or more games. San Francisco and Seattle are both looking like 9-win teams.
9 to
10-win
11.
teams.
11 is the tops for them. 11 and
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, we have to put numbers to it, but at the end of the day, it's going to be Rams and then 49ers or Seahawks, one of them around 11 to 12 wins, one of them around 9 wins, and then the Cardinals at the bottom.
Who is Seattle going to run the ball with?
6. Sam Darnold.
Kenneth
running
Walker was
Wildcat.
replaced. Kenneth Walker was replaced by Emmanuel
They had
Wilson
Charbonnet. They stopped
and
Charbonnet
Charbonnet.
and a rookie. Yeah, Wilson's a rookie, right?
And Charbonnet's coming off an ACL.
Right.
And he's a little guy.
So that's what I'm saying. Is
Yeah.
like not only is it a new offensive coordinator, new play style, and everything, but the best rushing threat. Obviously, they ran the ball really effectively last year. I just don't see
Who's
that
the
that's
OC
what-
now?
addressed.
That's what made Darnold effective, honestly. Like you could honestly see the wheels come off here, because if they can't run the ball the way they did last year, Darnold is not going to look half as effective as he did last year.
Totally.
No, he's not. The OC is Brian Fleury.
Oh, it's
He was
Fleury.
San Francisco.
Okay.
He was the Niners tight ends coach last year and run game coordinator.
So we got another
Yikes.
inside
Another
the
first
division.
time.
One of the guys-
Yeah,
Another
in
inside the
division.
A guy who was a tight ends coach. He wasn't a quarterbacks coach. He wasn't an assistant OC. He wasn't an OC for an offensive head coach. He was a position coach.
Going to a defensive
is
coach's defensive head coach, first time play caller. You're right. Like
Yeah, this is
the
gonna
wheels
be
could
rough.
easily come off here.
I'm
Did
telling
they
you.
did they hire like an OC consultant or something? Like sometimes they do.
Like a
did they?
what do they call that? A game coordinator?
Yeah. It's kind of like the bench coach in baseball for the offense.
Yeah, who did
kinda have
Denver
that guy.
hire in that Hackett year?
Yeah, he was like a game coordinator.
Yeah, well, they
Yeah.
brought in a guy who had just a ton of experience. Had been in the
Yeah.
league for 4 decades.
No, it wasn't Shermer. Shermer's the guy that went to CU.
He was, he was I actually liked the guy. I thought it was a good move. To
That's
have
what I'm
him help
wondering
you
is
out
if they
with,
did something
the
like that
clock
to help
management.
this guy.
Yeah, he replaced Clint Kubiak.
Oh.
I think as far as I can see, he's the only one calling
He's
plays.
the guy. He's definitely the one calling plays, but I don't see another.
I don't either.
I don't see like a known name, like you know what I mean, like one of those old time
Yeah, somebody you've seen before.
seasoned guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is this is yikes to me.
This
If
is
I
like-
was a Seahawks fan, I would be legitimately concerned.
Yeah, because
Well-
you're putting Darnold back in the Carolina situation.
I feel like they've convinced themselves
He's the
that
man.
he's the truth.
Yeah.
He's the stuff.
This
I mean,
this organization did it with Geno Smith.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah,
It's the same GM.
It's the same GM still. Yeah.
Yes, it's the same GM.
This looks like
Dude.
Carolina, Minnesota to me. Like they think their defense is going to be good, right? It's Seattle, but they are putting him in a position where he's going to have to try to carry things, and he's not.
Dang,
the
dude,
guy.
is my Niners take just shit all of a sudden? Because that's what I'm
No,
thinking.
I think
you could still
no.
be right.
That's what's going to happen. I see both teams. Both teams could easily
Just
fall.
significantly drop.
8 and 9, 9 and 8, 7 and
Yes.
10.
This is going to look a lot more like the South.
The
Than
Yeah.
Seahawks are going to play a first place schedule.
They're done. And the more I look at it and the more you guys talk about it, it's like, okay, San Francisco's not going to be that good, but they're not going to just drop off the table.
But they're not going to be that bad, right?
No,
Yeah,
they've-
yeah,
they've
that's
got
what I was saying
consistency.
with my take.
They've got consistency. Yeah. This is an interesting conversation once we started
Yeah.
delving into
Yeah,
Seattle a
this is
little
an
bit.
interesting four.
I was
Which
excited
stinks
for the
because I
Seattle combo.
like McDonald in Seattle. I like him as a head coach. I think he's a good culture builder and everything too.
It seems.
Well,
seems
he'll
to-
be fine.
I mean,
He's a defensive coach. They'll be good on defense.
Their defense is
I-
going to be good again.
I think he has benefited a bit there from just organizational structure. They've had the same GM for a while. The Pete Carroll culture, just he didn't have to do much. You know what I mean? Like the
He kinda
organization
took what
seems
it
to
was
keep
and
guys in
moved it.
line and draft kind of guys that aren't really problem guys. And Pete Carroll was such a player-friendly coach that you come in and I don't know, you don't really have to put your foot down unless you got a bunch of turds in the building. But I think the GM has done a pretty good job of keeping those kind of guys out. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how much of a culture he had to build there. Seattle's had that defensive, tough-nosed culture for 15 years now,
Oh, at least.
you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I get what you're saying. He looks like he works there. It looks like a great fit for him.
He works
Yeah.
there. And, you know, some of the stuff I saw with him that made me think of Pete Carroll was, you know, him lining up as a DB against our wide receivers and covering them in practice.
That's cringe.
It
That's-
is
that's
cringe.
Pete
That's
Carroll
gross
as it
cringe.
gets.
It is
That's as
cringe.
Pete
totally.
Carroll as it
But
gets.
that's Pete Carroll all the way down
100%.
the road.
It's
And that's a
cringy.
weird,
Totally.
you got to say Pete Carroll. I think he's a bum, but I don't really like the guy. But the guy was like 60 years old and he was doing stuff physically with his team on the field. That was like, you're 60. How can you do that?
And
Yeah.
and he could win games.
Yeah.
So if McDonald's anything like that, but yeah, I think you're right. He's a culture builder. I see those guys falling apart eventually.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
because, well, I don't know. I'm an old
I
guy.
agree with you because defense is personnel. Because defense is personnel. There's no scheme that can fix bad personnel and great defensive personnel with just a bunch of tacklers and junkyard dogs
Yeah, dogs.
is gonna fix any scheme problems or shortcomings that you have. I think that's what happened with
It's
Pete
true.
Carroll in their Super Bowl years. I think they just drafted well and they made a couple of key free agent signings, and they had guys that just wanted to freaking kill on defense. And
Yeah.
it's a little bit easier to coach the defense when that's the case. I mean, so when you lose those guys, if you can't maintain that high level of personnel defensively, then what's your culture worth? If you're a player guy, if you're a player culture guy, if you're a lineup against my receivers guy,
I didn't know
yeah.
that he was. I didn't know he was lining up on defense.
Well,
That's
and you know,
disgusting.
the interesting thing about it, though, I mean, because I think it's cringe. Of course I do. You know what I mean? But the dude can play. The guy could flat out do it, man. He's like very athletic.
Yeah, he looks really in shape.
Yeah, he could play the part, but
So
Was he
I mean, to your
barefoot?
point, yeah, like to your point, John, like
he had toe socks.
defense is personnel.
That sucks.
So is being the player coach guy. The player
Yeah.
coach guy can be the player coach guy when he's got the personnel.
when you have the right
That's
personnel.
That's the Seattle situation with Pete Carroll, right? If you've got the personnel, you can be a player coach guy, and you can keep that around for a little bit longer, right?
Yeah.
You can kind of develop that glue a little bit by being the player coach guy. But if you don't have the personnel, then player coach guy doesn't have, right? You don't have the nuts and bolts to really hold things together.
You don't even have the nuts to hold it together. Literally, you don't have the nuts to hold it together.
You know, you did, like Pete Carroll, he did it in college
Mhm.
very successfully. He did it for a little while in Seattle very successfully. But when
And
push came to shove with the Jets and with the Raiders, lost cause.
But and to your point, when he was at USC, he had a little bit more than his player coach guy to hold those players together, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, he had the big pockets behind
Yeah,
him.
he had deep pockets there
Yeah.
helping him hold things
The guys
together.
with the pockets behind him dropping $1,000 bills on the ding.
Yeah,
Easy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Where's
But Willie,
sound
to your
board,
point-
John?
To your point, though, he is a good fit there, right? Like
I agree.
He goes there, he looks like Seattle. Like he just looks like Seattle.
He fits it.
It's a good fit there for sure.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah. But if I had to,
I don't know. It's
I
tough.
don't know, if I had to bet.
So I'm taking the under on Seattle as well. If
Yeah,
we're going
I'm
based
under
on
on
like
both.
actual prediction, under on 49ers, under on Seattle.
And
for
so what do
sure.
you what's they're both at 9.5?
10 and
They're
a
both
half,
at 10
right?
and a half right now.
Ooh, yeah.
10.5. Yeah.
Wow. What are the Rams at?
Rams. Let me see.
At 11? 11.5?
11.5. Good call. I
So-
think they go
so-
over that.
Yep.
They
So
should
in the
go
room
over
right
that.
now, yeah, we're thinking over for LA and we're thinking under for both Seattle and San Francisco.
Yeah. I think so.
Oh,
We can move on to the NFC North.
King of the North.
There we go.
Oh goodness.
That's
I
my
like
love
the
that.
cheese in the
Goff.
hand. I like
I
the cheese
do. I like
in
the
the hand.
cheese.
Oh, you're gonna hate me on this one.
The bear needs to have like eyeliner or lipstick on though.
I should have done
Oh,
like
should have.
painted claws.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Dang. Well, if I could do it again, I
Oh,
would.
painted claws
Painted-
would have been the
Painted
funniest
claws
thing.
and a red nose.
That would.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Dang.
just that
And long
southern-
flowy eyelashes.
I should have sent that to
Painted
everyone
claws
before,
would've
so
been
then I could
hilarious.
get it perfect. That's pretty close, though.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
No, that's great.
All right, so I had the NFC North and kind of struggled with this one a little bit. Just like everyone's kind of saying, I think there's a lot of question marks, both top to bottom on this in this division. Interestingly enough, the way I broke it down, I kind of did based off of like offensive production, defensive production. And so it was kind of hard because the teams that had really high powered offenses had terrible defenses and vice versa. So it made it really hard to rank them. So I have, starting from the bottom, I put the Bears at number 4. I got the Bears finishing last in the
What
division.
the hell?
And part of it is because I couldn't decide whether to put the Bears at the bottom or to
Or at
move
the
them
top.
up.
They have the worst defense in the division.
And their schedule is rough. They do play a rough schedule. And a lot of their defensive production, which turned into scoring opportunities for the offense, came off of turnovers, which we've talked about quite a bit. And that's definitely going to fall off. I don't think their defense has got any better. And obviously their offense has got worse. But like their offense was literally bottom of the barrel last year. 29th in yards, 23rd in points, 25th in passing yards, 27th in rushing yards. So they didn't run the ball well. They didn't throw the ball well. They didn't score many touchdowns. Most of their offensive production came off of turnovers and good field position from special teams. So I put Bears at 4, and I have them winning 6 games is where I did the schedule. Coming in at 3, I got the Vikings. They were also hard to do because their defense was phenomenal. If they just had a quarterback, they would easily win the division and be a Super Bowl favorite. But they do not have a quarterback, and they didn't have a quarterback last year.
What if 9 shows up?
If 9 shows up,
Then they're even worse.
see, I don't know.
Gosh.
I don't know which one is the bad quarterback. I don't know if it's 9 or if it's JJ.
Dude, bro, I think it's Kyler.
I don't know if.
I think JJ and 9 might both be a little bit better than Kyler.
Well, I
I'll
think
let you continue. Sorry, I'll let you continue.
the problem with 9 and JJ is like, is it because of the 9? Is he like the two-face where he just can't even play as himself because he's just battling 9 in his head? That's probably why he got replaced with Kyler. Anyway, they finished 30th in the league for passing yards per game, which is ridiculous based on, like we've talked about quite a bit. They have so many offensive weapons and an offensive head coach who I think can call plays pretty well. So yeah, I got them coming in at 3rd, and I think they're just going to win 1 or 2 more games than Chicago because their schedule is quite a bit easier. So they have 5 or 6 games that I thought they could win for sure, kind of like sure wins, and then the rest of them are kind of within the division. It could be a toss-up, one like 50-50 based on where they're playing. So they'll come in at 8 wins, just one better than Chicago. At number 2, I got the Packers. And the Packers had the second best defense in the division last year and the 3rd best offense. So Green Bay really struggled with moving the ball and scoring touchdowns. They were 14th in the league in touchdowns, so kind of right in the middle of the pack. But I just think I don't trust the Jordan Love situation there. Josh Jacobs had some off the field issues in the offseason. So I don't know if that's going to cause any problems or not, but if it's looking anything like it was last year, then I think their offense is going to look just about the same as it was. And then Detroit's coming in at number 1. Detroit had really bad defense, but their offense just rolls when Jared Goff is on. Detroit they were top 5 in every stat category on the offensive side of the ball, even with them looked like a down year for them, but they still had really, really good offensive production. They made a couple moves on the defensive secondary, which hopefully gets a little bit better. And I think last year, because they had that mass exodus of coordinators the year before, I think that was a big reason that they dropped off quite a bit. It was just doing the coordinator scramble. But I think this year they'll kind of settle in a little bit more. And I don't think they're going to be winning 13 games or anything like that. So I have them coming in at 11 wins, and they'll take the division.
So the Lions have new OC. It's Drew Petzing, who was the Cardinals OC last year. And before that, he was tight ends and quarterbacks coach for Cleveland. He was with the Vikings for 5 years, worked from an offensive assistant, wide receivers coach at the end.
Yeah, he's another.
No, he went to Middlebury. He was a volunteer student assistant at Harvard. But he's got 12, 13 years of experience. Only a couple of years as an OC.
As a play caller.
I mean, he's one of the more, believe it or not, one of the more seasoned OC hires of this cycle.
Yeah, unbelievable. We need a little more
But
DEI
an unknown
going.
commodity. Yeah. Well, he's a bald white guy. So
I know.
I like that. I like that.
There's no DEI this year. NFL has changed those stripes this year.
It's pretty incredible. It's
It is
pretty
really incredible.
Yeah.
Well,
and two of the three black coaches are likely to get fired this year.
yeah.
You got Aaron Glenn in New York and Todd Bowles in Tampa Bay, and they're both on hot seats. Green Bay's New York's just a hot seat for any coach who goes there. And then Todd Bowles is the defensive coach who's had a bad defense for the last 3 years. So
right.
Sorry, but
Which is too bad. I like that guy, but
yeah, I do too. Well, I like the guys. I just don't like him as head coach hires. It's
Aaron
like Raheem
Glenn.
Morris. Just coach the defense. Be incredible at it.
Coach defenses.
let's see, Willie. What can I throw at you here?
Yeah, give me some feedback.
I honestly can't believe, first of all, that you have Minnesota anywhere but last.
Really?
That's the first thing.
Me
With
too.
the 91st percentile defense. See, this is why, I
it
get what you're
doesn't-
saying.
It
But
doesn't matter.
91st They didn't finish last year, though.
But if you can't score points, you can't win. Period. Defense is. Yeah, if they give up 19 points a game, they're a great defense. But if you can't score, you can't score. But that's just me. That's just my thinking.
I think that their offense will look almost the same as it did last year, if not a little bit better. And they won 9 games last year. So I think they'll finish, even if they drop a game or two. I think Chicago's going to be worse.
I just do.
I'm
I'm just going to throw these out there for discussion. That's the one thing in this division. It's like,
devil's
are you
advocate.
kidding me? Yeah,
And you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, they have one of the worst starting quarterback situations in the league.
They have 3 of the worst.
And they
starting
really
quarterback
buried
situations.
themselves. They really buried themselves with the Kyler Murray signing. You should have just played JJ. You should have just played JJ and been like, we're just going to play the year with this guy with Carson Wentz as the backup. Because they won a few games last year with Max Brosmer and Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Carson
Wentz was playing decent until he got hurt again.
I mean, they went 9-8 last year.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
like,
If Carson Wentz was the quarterback right now, I would think different. But they don't have. We just got to look at it. In my opinion, they don't have a quarterback.
No, neither do the Bears.
No, they don't.
So anyway, but I can see them being maybe 3, and because I've got Chicago 3, Minnesota 4. I think Chicago's going to blow up. It just depends on when. They're just going to tank.
Their defense was in the 13th percentile.
Their defense was historically bad.
Man, and they lose DJ
Historically
Moore
bad.
offensively. DJ Moore was clearly the best wide receiver on the team. He couldn't wait to get out of there. He couldn't wait to stop playing with Caleb Williams.
And DJ Moore there is what opens up Romo Dunze and some of those other guys to be able to catch the ball quite a bit. Without DJ Moore there, it's the same kind of thing that happened with Tampa and Agbuka.
Totally.
And it's like your number 2 isn't just going to automatically be the number 1 again, or
They're just
be the number 1 and
all year.
get all
They're
those
just gonna
targets.
spam tight ends. They're going to throw the ball to Colston Loveland and Cole Kmet all year. I mean, those 2 tight ends are probably going to be the number 1 and 2 receptions leaders in Chicago this year.
The biggest thing to me with Chicago is the way they won their games last year.
It was ugly.
They were all late. They were all ugly. They would play
Defensive scores.
2.5 quarters and not score any points, be able to barely move the ball at all. And then late in the game, they'd get some good field position. They'd score one time, just enough to win games. right? And they're not going to get that kind of defensive support this year. You can't count on turnovers. Turnovers don't roll over. It doesn't
They
work
don't
that
roll
way.
over.
And I don't
Yeah, because they
understand
led the
why-
league. They led the league in fumble recoveries and interceptions,
Yes.
and every other stat category was terrible.
And defensive points too, didn't they?
Yeah, and defensive scoring, 100%.
I just don't
what
understand why when offenses are forced to throw the ball because they're playing from behind, defenses play prevent halfway through the
they
third
give
quarter.
them space in the middle of the field
Just
every
keep
time.
keep playing the defense that has shut the quarterback down for 2.5 quarters.
Yeah,
And that's
They
when
have to
Colston
throw now,
Loveland
which
and
means
Cole
you
Kmet-
get pressure if you bring 4 or 5 guys.
And
I
then-
don't understand.
and it makes it easy to spam those tight ends when they're playing that style of defense. As
And it
well.
Yeah, because they're always open underneath.
it was like
And sit in the
clockwork last
pocket all
season.
day.
Every
What's up,
game that
Vince?
looked like that. The second
Yeah, go
half,
ahead.
the defenses play off, give them cushion, and then it's a game. It is hard to watch sometimes.
I mean, Caleb Williams was a disaster in the pocket for 2.5 quarters last year. But then when he gets comfortable because you're rushing 3 guys or 4 guys and you're
Yeah.
sitting back in the
Correct.
soft defense, he can leave the pocket and
Scramble
roll
around
out
and
right or
find
left
zones.
and stand there, right? He can scramble to the right 8 or 10 yards and stand at the numbers and wait for something to open up in front of his face.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, looking
It's
at this
insane.
list,
No, I don't think
You
that's what it
play-
is.
You just force him to stay in the pocket. You just
No,
rush on the edge.
I don't think that's what it is, John. I think with Caleb Williams, what it is as he continues to change the polish on his nails, with that arm going forward, by the time the late third quarter comes, the defense is blinded.
Yeah, that must be what it is.
They don't know where the ball's going because they're seeing purple, green, pink, red.
Yeah, they don't even know
Yeah.
what to do.
No,
They're
it's like
just
the pitcher
lost.
can't wear a yellow armband. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
I also don't buy into Ben Johnson.
I don't either.
I
We've
think-
talked about
No.
this. in the
I
past
think he's
as
a
well.
D-bag, dude. I think the shirt's
He's a
option in the
fake.
locker room.
Yeah, what a fag.
Oh, I
The-
didn't see
the-
that. What is that?
The kind of screaming in LaFleur's face at the end of the game. Not like aggressively screaming, but doing like a woo, like screaming and running by LaFleur for
Yeah,
the
the-
handshake
the-
after you
the
beat him in the
gay
playoffs. It's like,
handshake.
bro.
Yeah, he's a total loser. He's fake.
I think he's a
I think
punk,
that-
dude.
That whole culture thing is just fake shit. It's retarded.
when
It's
even if it's
actually
real,
retarded.
it can't last. That's not the type of culture that's going to be sustainable for a player.
No, I think he's a great play caller, but I don't think he is an adequate head coach.
No.
And I think we'll start to see that. And here's the other thing is Chicago is one of the worst run organizations in the NFL. They have terrible ownership.
Yeah.
It's just it's
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
no. Looking
Yeah,
at this
that-
list from just no bias, I completely agree with all that Willie has there. I think the biggest question mark is Green Bay, but I agree with your take on Jordan Love. I don't think he's convinced me that he's the guy. But if I'm going to put on my conspiracy theorist hat, the Bears are going to win the division.
I think I
I'm
think
not joking.
They got Superman,
I
KK.
think that if there
I-
is any possibility that there is collusion in the league, the Bears are going to win the division.
I think Jordan Love is, if he doesn't have to make decisions, he's enough. He's really good when he doesn't really have to make decisions. But I think he puts the ball in danger when he's forced to make decisions in high pressure situations.
Yeah.
The good thing is they got skill guys all over the field. They got a really good defense when everybody's healthy, and Matt LaFleur is a great coach.
Yeah.
And Green Bay is a great organization.
That's
Yeah, it's the opposite of the Bears.
It's the opposite of the Bears.
That's the key. Yeah, I see the same thing. Green Bay's middle of the road. Offensively and defensively, they're middle of the road right now. So, and if the bottom half of your division is what we think Chicago and Minnesota are going to be, then middle of the road's going to have you in the playoff hunt, right? It's
Yeah.
going to be like last year between the Lions and the Packers. It's going to look like last year. I don't think the Lions have the defense to be the runaway division winner, right? They just don't have They don't have the defense for that. So it's going to be a dogfight at the end, probably between Green Bay and Detroit.
And that's why I have Detroit winning the division by one game. It's going to be a 1 game.
I think that's exactly what it's going to look like, and it's the reason that you give the Lions the edge is because they are the one team in this division that has an NFL caliber quarterback.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just flat out.
And
that's
they can
the
run
fact.
the ball really. They can run the ball really effectively. They're good in the red zone. If Jared Goff isn't outside in the cold, dude's going to throw for 400 yards.
And I mean, I think you could say a lot of that about Green Bay, right? When you're just talking that they play good defense, not great defense. They play good defense. Offensively, they're going to be able to put the ball in the end zone. If they
Well,
get the ball in the red zone.
The first 6 weeks last year, everyone was talking about Green Bay, the Super Bowl favorite.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember, but it was like through 6 or 8 weeks, Green Bay was the favorite to win the Super Bowl for a long time.
When they traded for Micah Parsons, it was people thought it was over.
Yeah.
And
It
they
was like this year with the Rams. I mean, the Rams were better before the Myles Garrett trade, but it was similar. Where after Myles Garrett, it was like the Rams are just going to walk to the Super Bowl. That's how people were talking about Green Bay last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even through
The
6
difference
to
is
8
the
weeks.
Rams have a top 2 or 3 quarterback in the NFL.
Well, and the problem with Green Bay is they can't run the ball effectively enough to allow Jordan Love to just coast, like you said.
Correct.
They can't run the ball effectively enough. If they could run the ball better, if they could run the ball as well as Detroit can, then they would be the favorite for the division because being able to play behind a running game, Jordan Love can be really effective.
Takes the pressure off. Yeah.
But
Absolutely
he can't with the way they ran the ball last year. He can't. So that drops them. That's why they looked so good at the beginning, is because their offense looked really good for a while. They came down to earth, and then it was quite obvious that he wasn't just going to carry that team. So yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that Green Bay needs to be able to run away with the division would be to be able to run the ball, because they'll be better on defense this year, especially when Parsons gets back. But I don't think that they have the offense to take the division. But I think it will be a dogfight for sure.
Yeah, they finished right in the middle of the league, 15th or 16th in rushing, and total rushing yards and rushing touchdowns. And they also ran the ball 47% of the time. So,
Well, the other advantage that Detroit has, which is huge, is they go from last year having a division winner schedule to this year having a last place schedule.
That's true. That's a great point.
That is a really good point. I didn't even think about that.
because I was also looking at the schedule, and Detroit's schedule was a lot lighter. So I calculated a lot of wins for them, but it still finished out right around 11.
Yeah, last year they had a number one schedule. They had a weird year and they won 9 games. This year they got a last place schedule. They're going to win 10 or 11 games.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I had Green Bay right at 9 or 10. So Lions will take the division by one game.
Heck, they may win
2 at most.
They may win 12 because they won
10 and a
12 the year
half is the
before,
win
didn't
total.
they? No, they won 15 2 years ago.
Yeah, they did. They were sick a couple years ago.
So I would take the over on that 10.5 if that's what the over under is.
Yeah, I think
for
I
sure.
might do. And I'd love
they
to
gotta-
see the Lions. I'd love to see them win.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
They're fun to watch. I like how they run the ball as well.
I do.
fun.
I like.
they're
I
really
like
fun
their
to
head
watch.
coach. Head coach is a
Me
dude.
too.
I love their head coach. Yeah, they got a pretty evenly sparse schedule. They don't have like a particularly difficult first half or second half. They get a couple of these games sprinkled throughout the season. Those division games are always difficult, though.
Yeah, I mean it's the North, right? The division games are going to be tough. They're going to be tough games. The benefit that both Green Bay and Detroit are going to have is that bottom of the division is going to be bad, right? We're
Right.
talking
poor-
about Minnesota, who can't. They're not going to be able to score any points.
They can't score.
And Chicago,
No,
the
they
same
can't score.
story. Chicago will not be able to score points.
And
They're
their
just not
defense
going to
is
be able to score
terrible.
points. Exactly. The worst part for Chicago is their defense is not going to be able to carry them the way they did
No.
last year. They're
You
not
just
going
have to keep your foot on the gas against Chicago, guys. You
Yep.
just have to keep your foot on the gas.
I think
You'll beat them by 3 scores.
the wild card in the situation is what Vince said about Chicago.
The conspiracy hat.
Yes.
The
We all
conspiracy
know
hat,
it's
though,
there.
What I think will happen is it'll be the same as last year. In the second half, they're going to pass for 300 yards and win a game or two that they shouldn't. But again, that's my conspiracy.
Hey, if we're going to put that hat on, I don't know, but that's the only wild card for Chicago that I see because they're not a good football team.
No,
That's the
otherwise,
hat, then it's
otherwise
Bears
they're.
Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Whoa.
It's Bears, though.
You just gave me another piece for my fire starter next week.
Cool.
No, because they're a bottom of the league team.
They're
Yeah.
Chicago.
bottom
If you just
feeder.
look at
Yeah.
just look at their numbers, they're a bottom of the league team. They're a 3, 4, 5 win team.
Yeah.
If you just look at the numbers, that's what they look like.
Yeah. They look exactly like Washington did the year before.
100%.
And Minnesota's only saving grace is the fact that they had a top 3 defense.
That's the thing. They have a real
The
defense.
thing is, it's a heck of a saving grace, though. I mean,
Yeah. Because you can win games with a really good defense.
well, you saw it with
Chicago-
Denver all year.
Yep. Chicago
Your
last
defense
year
is that
won games.
good.
Chicago last year won games just getting turnovers. They had a bad
Yeah.
defense, but they got turnovers. Right?
Yeah.
Minnesota's got a real defense. A real
Yeah.
defense that is going to make even good offenses struggle. So
Yeah.
they're going to be in more games. Just because of that. They don't have
Right.
to score a bunch of points. They just need to be able to score, a couple of times when the defense puts them in good field position.
The problem is, like we've all said, I don't think they can score 17 a game.
No, I don't think so either. That's the problem is
I
their
think
quarterback
they're-
situation is so bad. And like Willie said, it's like
so bad.
it's mind numbing because if you look at all the other skill position players, it's like, man, they should be
They're
good.
a Super Bowl team.
Oh my gosh, they would be
It's
one of
the
the best
same-
2 or 3 teams
it's
on
the
paper if they had
same-
an average quarterback.
It's
Yeah.
the same 14-win team that Sam Darnold had.
Yeah,
It's
they
the
should be.
same.
They should be begging to get
offense.
Sam Darnold back. They'd win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Well, they won 14 games. that year.
Yes.
They won.
Yeah.
They were
Yes.
14-3.
Yeah.
Well, they won like 13 or 14 with Kirk Cousins too.
Yeah. 2 years before that.
So
Yeah.
that's the proof, right? Their defense is that kind of a defense. They can let Kirk Cousins win 14 games, right? And they can
Yeah.
win 14 games with Sam Darnold. That's the kind of defense that they have.
And skill.
Yep.
Yep.
And skill. Yep. 100%.
Man, what a bummer for the Vikings.
I
What
know.
about or
You just
And-
killed yourself. You just thought it was
did, they-
time to draft a young QB, which is always a gamble when you're drafting high. And
And
you
the
just
worst
killed
quarterback
yourself.
class
It was
to
just
do
a
it with.
bad decision.
They have
Yeah.
they have Justin Jefferson, right?
Yeah.
yeah, Justin Jefferson
Imagine being that guy.
and TJ Hawkinson
Yeah.
and Jordan Addison.
Imagine being those guys. It's like
Brutal.
Yeah,
And
it's your Super
the other
Bowl
thing
run.
is the biggest thing about it to me is JJ McCarthy never looked like that guy. In what world
No,
did he
I
ever
have
look
no
like
idea.
the guy?
Oh,
10 passes
he's-
in a natty.
Yeah, he played in a
No.
system in college where he shared snaps.
Yeah.
who's their GM?
Dude, it's a new GM this year. It was Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah running
Oh, there you go. Bam.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was running the
Yeah.
daycare scam last year. He was the Somalian guy running the daycare scam.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
There
It
was
says
actually some controversy over
I think I remember this.
fraud in the organization in his tenure. There was like money being funneled out. It was quite a thing.
How dare you say that?
So yeah, I mean they squandered they had Super Bowl like real deal chances, and they just threw it away.
They hired a guy from the Seahawks front office. He was their assistant GM, Nolan Teasley. He's got a scouting background.
I mean, anybody's going to be better than somebody.
Anybody's going to be better, but the scouting background guys, I think, tend to struggle because the GM is making a lot of personnel decisions, and scouting guys are just traits.
Yeah, tangibles.
I think the finance guys like Howie Roseman tend to do a bit better.
They're better at putting the puzzle together.
They're just wheeling and dealing. They're looking at cap space. They're looking at proven commodities.
They're looking at
what I mean. They're not looking at 40 times and
bench press.
Yeah, exactly. And vertical jumps. So I'm not sure as far as their future goes. I am very, very down on Minnesota over the next 5 years or so.
Yeah, the scout guy GMs are drafting Cam Ward and Anthony Richardson.
Exactly. The biggest problem with Minnesota is you were so good, you were so close, you were right there. Your team was awesome, still is. Why are you drafting a early first round quarterback, man? It is a crapshoot.
Yep.
I don't.
The only way you do that is if you're doing the LA and you're saying, I've got my guy and I'm going to draft the next guy.
Right.
Draft to develop.
Yeah, because if he does, or Green Bay did it multiple times. If he doesn't work out, that's okay for this year and next year. We're going to be okay for a couple years. We can do it again, or we can sign a veteran.
Yep.
Man, and now you're in a situation where the only guy available to sign is Kyler freaking Murray.
Right. Yeah. And we all know he's not the guy either. He is.
Could they have made a move to get Mac Jones or someone like that? Like an actual viable,
I don't know,
backup caliber. Because if there's
I don't think so. Because Arizona is eating a huge portion of Kyler Murray's contract.
Oh,
Arizona was begging for somebody to take Kyler Murray,
so they could start Jacoby Brissett.
Believe in Jacoby Brissett.
I mean, you
2020.
He's way better than Kyler Murray.
Yeah, he's like 10 times the quarterback to Kyler Murray.
Well, he's 9 inches.
I mean,
taller,
Mac Jones, $3 million cap hit this year.
You could have got
Kyler Murray,
Rivers, Flacco.
What they should have done, honestly, is after the Jets season, they should have signed Aaron Rodgers. And he could have done the exact career path of Brett Favre.
We talked about that.
Green Bay to the Jets to the Vikings. Think about how much better they would have been if they had taken Rodgers.
We talked about Minnesota should go get Rodgers.
Dude, that really could have happened. It was
and they're playing in a dome.
Probably the best option for them.
Well,
they're playing in a dome.
Yeah.
So Kyler Murray is $1.3 million against the cap this year from Minnesota. Mac Jones, $3.3 million. So I don't know how much cap space they have. I wonder how much they could have even done. He's essentially playing for the vet minimum for Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Arizona's they're paying all that out.
Well, they got multiple receivers making a lot of money. They got some defensive guys making a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Team caps.
Man, if I were just fast and black, I could have been that guy.
They got some cap room this year, so they could have made something else work. My gosh, is it the GM? Did they bring in this scouting background GM who's looking at Kyler Murray's speed and going, this guy can make things work for us?
Maybe.
Definitely.
Already making these decisions?
Definitely. Yeah, because they brought him in and named him the starter in the second week of camp.
Well, he was gonna get the starting job. He came in guaranteed to get the starting job. The alarming thing is that he didn't separate in camp. The alarming thing is that he didn't just outright win the job.
That was the funniest part.
Well,
and not surprising.
because you don't know which JJ you got. Is it 9 or JJ or whatever? I mean,
Is it 9?
The
he
days
may-
that 9 showed up in drills, dude was slinging it in drills when 9 was there.
There's some
It-
upside.
it makes you wonder about the guy, about the kid. I mean, I feel bad for him because I honestly think he's got a mental problem.
I think it's a mental problem with him.
Yeah,
because
I
he's
do- I
physically, there's not much reason why he shouldn't be able to do it.
No.
Well,
He's
but
tall, pretty
yeah.
thick. He throws the ball well. I mean, his mechanics look pretty decent. I just, man. All right. Well, if that's all we got, do we
Yeah,
all?
what do
That
we-
was a long one.
Detroit winning. We all got Detroit winning the division.
Actually, this
I'm
one-
surprised no one else thought Green Bay would take it. I was
I don't- I
expecting
can't-
others to
I-
have Green Bay.
I'm not
I
convinced.
don't
yet.
trust him offensively.
I don't trust Jordan Love yet to be that guy.
They don't, in my opinion, they don't run the ball well enough.
Right.
And so it comes down to the quarterback, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's one NFL caliber quarterback in the division, and so in that situation, I'm going to choose that team to win the division.
And Will, you said they ran the ball 47% last year. 47%.
47 Packers ran 47% of their snaps. Rush.
If Jordan Love is your quarterback, you need to be over 50 running the ball. You have
Not
to be
only
able to
that,
run the
well,
ball.
The
gotta
thing
be a
is,
little
last year they were 25th in yards per attempt running the ball. So they ran
Yeah,
the
they
ball
were bad.
47% of the time, but they were only
And they
they
got
were,
Ineffective.
garbage yards. Yep.
per
rush was
4.1
terrible.
yards per attempt rushing the ball. So they tried to commit to it, and they couldn't run it well enough.
Yep. So now you're
So we
putting them
got-
in third and long situations.
We got
Well,
Rams 1 seed. Oh, sorry, Dad.
Oh no, go ahead. You're going into that. That's good. I was going to start.
I was just going
talking
to move
about
on. Yeah. So we got Rams on the 1 seed.
that. Let's
2
see. Here. What
seed.
do we have here?
2 seed could be Cowboys. It could be Detroit. It could be Tampa Bay. It's looking like Detroit is the 2 seed.
Detroit.
Yeah, probably.
And then 3 seed Cowboys.
Dallas.
Yep.
4 seed Tampa Bay.
Yep, because whoever comes
You
out of
think?
that division is going to be sneaking.
Yeah.
Really? You think they're?
I
don't.
I do because I actually legitimately think New Orleans has around a 45% chance to win that division.
But
Well, between them
are
and
you
Tampa Bay.
are you just naming division winners and giving them the seed,
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just guessing the seed. I was
Okay,
going to see
you're
what you
not
guys
saying-
thought about the seeds.
not the fourth best team in the
No.
conference?
No,
No,
just,
no,
just
no.
playoff
Sorry, I'm
appearance
seeing
due to
playoff
winning the
picture.
division.
Okay, we're going to see the playoff structure
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
kind of with you, John. I kind of had New Orleans finishing second in that division.
I think they might win the division.
Honestly,
I
I
love
could-
Kellen. Dude, I am so much higher on Kellen Moore than because of his time at Boise State. And then he had 1 year in Philly, and he took him from a floundering offense to a run-heavy Saquon Barkley scheme, and they won the freaking Super Bowl in his 1 year in Philly. And he brought stability to Dallas. I mean, Dak had his best seasons with him there in Dallas. I just think he might be the real deal.
Yeah, I can see that. Like I said, I think any of those 3 teams could win that division, and that's
Yeah.
why I see them being the 4th best seed
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
a division winner, because it's going to
the-
be it's
yeah.
going to be a 9-10 win team that's going to win that division.
Or an 8, like last
Or an
year.
eight.
It could be an 8. I'm guessing it'll be
Dallas
a
could
more
win
like,
as an 8. Dallas could be the 4 seed as the 8.
I guess my gut tells me that if I was to guess, I would take Dallas over 9. I think
I
they're going
think
to be.
I would
I
too.
think they're going to be significantly better this year than they were last year.
So do I.
So that's why I have them at the 3. And then Detroit, we know who Detroit is, and so that because they're a proven commodity, that's why I have them. That's
Got a
why I
weaker
would put it at
schedule.
2. And a weaker schedule. Yep. And then
So yeah.
LA, obviously, everybody's favorite.
And Seattle's the best wild card team probably, or San Francisco.
Yeah, whoever
Well,
comes
hold
out of
on,
that.
hold on. No, I got to.
I like Green Bay
That's
as
Yeah,
well.
I think I like Green Bay more than
I do too.
Okay.
Seattle.
No, I'm with you.
I do like Green Bay better. And
they
on
got a
Jordan
good
Love,
defense
just
as well.
for grins on Jordan Love, I think he's a work in progress. I really do. And
Yeah.
I think he's a better thrower than he was 2 years ago.
I can agree with that.
I think there's progression there with him, not regression, which is what you see with a lot of these guys. So,
Yeah.
And maybe that's
I
the
see.
coach and the system. But even if it is, there's
But
progression.
those matter. Yeah, those
Yeah,
matter.
that matters.
How can I'm hearing rumors that Matt LaFleur's on the hot seat for head coaching.
Dude, I heard
and that
people
blew my
wanted him
freaking
gone last
mind.
year, and I think that's crazy.
What
Well,
what the hell is that?
It's because Green Bay, seriously, in Green Bay,
it's win or go home.
you
city.
got to be in the conference championship. You got to be on the verge of the Super Bowl.
They expect to win so much. That was coming
Yeah.
from Green Bay fans
Yeah.
No, but they're a
and,
playoff
and Green
contender
Bay friendly
every year.
media.
They don't have a top. I mean,
Well-
Jordan Love's serviceable.
When was the last time they
quarterback.
won the
But you
division?
just said it. The entire media ecosystem thinks Jordan Love is a top 5 quarterback.
They think he
Everybody
is-
loves him.
Well,
Maybe
when
not top
Brett
5,
Favre
top
was
10.
in Green Bay and they had a bad year, they were like Favre sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, the Green Bay fans, even though they've had some really crappy years, Green Bay fans and media expect Green Bay to be a top 3 team in the league.
And last year they were supposed to be a Super Bowl team.
They won it.
Pump
They
those
won the
tires.
division.
People way overrated him.
They
So
won the
that happens
division in
and they
2021.
rebuild.
Matt LaFleur took Green Bay to a division title in 2021.
That
If
was
he
5
does get
years ago.
fired, he'll be hired immediately.
Yeah.
If he gets fired, if he gets fired, he'll be the diamond of the hiring.
That's
will
just
be.
shocking.
Yeah.
It's shocking
He'll have
to me.
he'll have his pick of 7 or 8 teams to go to.
Because as far as Green Bay is concerned, I mean, they perform just as well as I would figure. It's not like they have top tier talent on both sides of the ball, and it's like the coach can't get it done. That's not what's happening.
No, but the people calling for him to be fired are the fans who are watching the sports talk and listening to sports radio, who were hearing that they were a Super Bowl favorite halfway through the year last year.
Last
And
year.
who-
Right.
and who think that Jordan Love is, like John said, a top tier quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they think he's the truth.
that's who's calling for the firing, is those people, right? They're not people looking at it objectively. They're looking at it with the fan eyes of, we're supposed to win a Super Bowl because we have Jordan Love.
Because I like LaFleur. I think he's a good coach.
I agree. I like him.
I do too. So 5 seed Green Bay, 6
Philly.
Philly, San Francisco.
5.
New
Oh, you got
Orleans.
5. No, wait, 6. Yeah, 6. 6 would be, I think it's San Francisco.
You do over Philly?
I do.
I think Philly's going to slide. I really do.
You think
Wait,
they're going to
who-
miss the playoffs?
Do we?
No, I mean, I could
think-
see.
I think they're right
Go ahead.
behind. Sorry, Tony. I think they're right behind Seattle.
So that would have a missing if Seattle makes it.
Let's see.
So we got
Let's see.
Green Bay,
1.
San Fran.
Or Seattle. We don't have Seattle in yet.
San
No.
Fran or Seattle. On the
I've got
same
Seattle
planet.
and San Fran. I got Philly and Seattle both even at 7. So one of them 7, one of them's 8. What do you think?
I think that's 6, 7, 8 is those 3 teams.
I
San
think it's a
Francisco,
toss-up between
Seattle,
those
and
3.
Philly.
I think it's a toss-up. I
San
think-
Francisco, Seattle, Philly.
Well, let's look at how we lay
No,
out with the
we're gonna
wild
get one.
card,
That
right?
division's good. The South is going to get one team in.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean,
San
that's the
Francisco,
thing.
Seattle or
Yeah.
Philly.
Yeah.
So one of them is out. Honestly, it's between San Francisco and Seattle. I think Philly's going to get in because San Francisco and Seattle have to play each other.
That's true. I think Philly's going to get in.
That could be the thing.
And if it's that
You know-
tight, I think
Yeah, because Philly's going to get to play the Giants and the Commanders twice.
Twice. Yep.
Oh,
That's a good-
that could be 3 or 4 wins.
That's 3 or 4 wins
It
for sure.
should be 4.
Even with an average, even with a sliding Philadelphia team, that should be 4
Yeah.
wins.
Yeah. Gosh, crazy. Think about it for a second, guys. Philly, we got Philly sitting at, let's say, 7, right?
Mhm.
Where were they a year ago or 2 years ago? They're sitting here at like
Last year
2,
they won
3.
11 games. Yeah, last year they won 11 games and won the
Yeah.
division.
Yeah, both of the last 2 years they were sitting at 1 or 2 seed conversation. I mean,
Yeah.
going into last year and the year before, you're looking at them as the 1 or 2 seed.
And I think if this group would have gotten together last year and done this, they wouldn't have been sitting at number 2.
No.
But
No. I
No.
would not have had them at number 2. After Kellen Moore
Right.
left, I would
Right.
have had them. I would have had them as a fringe playoff team last year.
Yes. Yes, and we saw exactly why, right?
No,
That they're aging, and
they're aging.
they're not the
They
same
have a limited
team.
quarterback. They're another very defensive dependent team. And they
Defense
did not
and
run
running the ball.
Dude, Philly's missing. Put Seattle at 7.
I agree. I tend to agree. I think Philly's going to keep the slide going.
I could do that.
think they slide
I
behind them.
think they are not going to be able to run the ball at all.
Seattle's,
I-
And
Seattle's
and
defense is
because
better than Philadelphia's defense.
Yes,
it
agreed.
is
Totally.
It is.
Yeah.
And
I like
honestly,
their coach better. I like Fangio better running the defense, but
Oh,
I don't
Philly-
think.
Philly's head coach, though, I can't take the guy.
No,
Can't
I
do.
think Philly's out, bro. If Philly and Chicago both tank, that is going to make for some tasty fan crash outs.
That's true.
and if you, yeah,
Especially
'cause, like
Chicago.
that's the way to do it. Because if you just put those two teams together, who do you take at quarterback? Who do
I
you
take
take?
Seattle.
Yeah, you take Seattle at quarterback.
Take
You take
Seattle's
Seattle
quarterback,
on
I take their
defense.
defense. I take their wide
take
receiving
Seattle-
core.
You take Seattle's
their
ability to
offensive
run the
line.
ball. You take
I take-
exactly.
yeah,
You take,
they're just better down
Like
there.
They're a
Barkley's
better
the only
team.
thing you're taking from Philly.
The only thing I'd take from Philly is their DC. It's Vic Fangio is the only thing I'd rather have over
and
I
their
would take
actual
Saquon.
running
I
back.
would rather
Yeah,
have
their
someone
running back.
actual running back. Yeah.
Not their running game, but their running
No,
back.
their actual
Back.
running back.
Yeah.
who would make Seattle way better.
Yeah, if you put him in Seattle, we're having a different
Dude,
conversation
yeah,
about,
totally.
about that
Oh,
That
division.
without a
entire
doubt.
division.
Yeah, the whole division's
That
different.
entire division is
Yeah,
different.
for sure.
Yeah. So that makes Seattle out. Or sorry, Philly out.
Philly out. I like that.
Chicago out. Man, that would be a very fun season to watch.
Oh,
Those
man.
are two fan
know,
bases that would be
Dude,
Dude,
I'm
that's
excited to
suicidal,
watch
bro.
NFC football.
You know what?
I
You
would.
know what it's telling me. The fact that we're all so excited for it to happen. It's not.
It-
It's not going to happen.
It's
course
not
it's
going to
not.
happen.
The Bears and Philly are both going
Yeah,
to win their divisions.
We all have to remember that Vince may be very much correct when he talks about
The conspiracy.
The conspiracy
The
hat,
conspiracy.
the tinfoil hat.
Yep. could
Yeah.
be very well right with all this stuff, but
But yes,
Yeah.
this is the way I think it would shake out for sure.
yeah.
I don't
know how
see
much
where
time
we're
you guys
wrong.
have. I don't know how much time you guys have, but we can look at what me and Willie came up with for the AFC real quick
I'm good to stay
I'm
and
on.
just
good. Let
see
me-
where you would move guys.
let me run to the bathroom again.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
And
gonna
I gotta-
I'm gonna go too.
I'm going to step over 2 dogs here.
Dead air. You guys keep the conversation going for a little bit.
Be right
Dead
back.
air.
Yeah, I can do that.
I think Vinny needs to fill this dead air. Come on, Vinny.
Nah,
I'm more excited to watch the NFC than I was last year. Definitely.
Yeah, I think there are some more interesting storylines in the NFC than the AFC. I think. Just looking
Yeah, I
at it
totally
right
agree.
now.
Even
The
just going over like
AFC
like San
Go ahead.
Francisco. San Francisco,
Well-
I really want to watch. And then Seattle, I'm going to want to watch. I'm going to want to watch what happens in the South with the Saints, the Bucks, and the Panthers.
And the North,
is going to be
right?
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, the North is going to be fun, and I'm really excited to see what Dallas can do as well.
Every-
so there's
Every division
At
has good
least-
storylines to follow.
Yeah. there's at least one team in each division that I'm really excited about, and there's a couple divisions that have multiple teams that'll be fun to kind of see what happens there.
Especially because last year, the way it shook out at the end of last year, right?
Yeah.
it was a little bit of a surprise the way that the season kind of shook out last year. So now that brings up some storylines this year to follow along with.
Totally.
I got to be honest though, even when I'm not excited to watch, like before the season, that certain divisions, it's always fun to watch how they play out.
Yeah.
I think we'll be surprised when we go through the AFC. We're going to do that next week, right?
We can go through the AFC next week. I was going to bring it up now, what me and Willie came up with,
Oh, okay.
but we can do the divisions next week.
What else would we do next week? You have a thought, or do we want to just do the same thing?
Not really. We could pause this, and do the same thing next week.
Yeah.
Because I
If
think
you
the
want to.
AFC would give us. I think we'd be just as excited with the AFC as we are the NFC.
Yeah.
We definitely went way more in depth in the NFC than John and I did in the AFC.
Let's do both. Let's see what me and Willie had for the AFC. If you guys have
Let's
time.
talk through it. That'll be a good.
And then
kind of
we can
lead-in.
still, and then next week we can still break it out. You all four can do your AFC divisions, and then we can do this again next week. It'll be interesting. I'm curious to see what you guys would say now versus next week, or what I would say now after hearing everybody's opinions.
And then after looking more in depth, you actually have time throughout the week to map it all out, do the schedules and stuff.
Yeah. Is
So-
there any other thoughts of what we would do next week? Because we got next week, which is week 3 of preseason. And
I don't know. I mean, it's preseason. It's just prediction season. I mean,
so why don't we just
I really don't know.
break it up just like we did this week and do AFC next week? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think we should do that next week.
So let's see what you guys got in the AFC now.
Okay. No surprise here. We had Denver in the 1 seed.
I'm not going to say anything.
Don't say well. Say no. Go ahead. Go ahead if you want to, because we'll do because you might not get the AFC West. You know what I mean? Like, so we'll do division. This conversation will be just as fun next week, even after going through this.
Wait,
Yeah, because there'll be more
feedback
in
now.
depth.
Plus,
I
we can
gotta
talk
get-
about this all day, every day.
Yeah.
So
we can't all day. So let me get a look at this here. I got to pull something up.
I-
so I can get something visual.
we won't go in depth. I won't pull up schedules. We can just give gut reactions first instance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My gut reaction is I agree with that assessment. I think they will win the West.
I agree.
1 seed though.
Yeah, I
One
got him
seed?
at number 1.
Gotcha.
We got him winning.
Well,
We got him winning the conference.
we got to talk through more before I can.
Okay, we can do that next week. Okay, but as a
Yeah.
division winner, okay.
Okay,
I think
wait,
they're a
Uh,
division
2
winner.
seed.
yeah,
Number
let's
2
go.
seed, we had Jacksonville winning
I-
enough
I-
games to be the 2 seed.
I think that's
I
a
can see that.
possibility.
I think
We
I
got
see
him.
them as I do see them as the division winner in the South.
Yeah.
For sure.
I see them as such an easy division winner that they just rack up wins all season.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Indianapolis is going to be a dumpster fire. Houston, we
yeah.
saw in the playoffs last
It
year.
is just a dumpster
They're
fire.
just they won't have as good of a defense this year as they did last year. It very rarely goes back to back like that in
Right.
Houston. So I see the division working out very similarly there, and the
Yeah.
Titans are just what the Titans.
Titans are going to be a top 2 pick, and
Yep,
and
they're a
draft.
bottom feeder.
so yeah, Jacksonville should win 5 division games. If they split with Houston, they'll win 5.
Yep.
In the division.
Yep.
Yeah.
Playing a number 2 schedule.
And they won 13 games last year as well.
Yeah, they're good.
So they were right in there.
They're going to be a walk away division winner, and you're right. They
Um,
could be pushing for the number 1, number 2 seed, depending on if they make improvements.
Right. We had Buffalo winning the division and making the 3 seed.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Pittsburgh
you-
winning the division as a 4 seed.
So you had Buffalo winning the division over New England.
Yeah, we did.
I think I agree.
But they got to play New England, so that drops them down to the 3 seed. That's your thought, right?
Yeah, that was more our thought. And also just, I mean, there's I have bigger question marks with Buffalo than Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville is just ready to hum.
I mean, Buffalo's full of question marks. It's that like this. It's like they have a new team. They're all question marks right now.
They had similar defenses last year, Buffalo, New England, right about it, just slightly below average. and similar offense. Buffalo 94th percentile offense, and they add DJ Moore. New England 89th percentile offense. But look, this is a weird thing. AJ Brown's a complete diva. He's a bit one-dimensional. He's bigger and faster than everybody, but I don't know how great a route runner he is. I think Stephon Diggs works there with Josh McDaniel's scheme better than AJ Brown.
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
And so I just don't know if their offense is going to be that good again.
I just
although, yeah,
I see them stepping back in production offensively. I don't see how they can repeat that production. I see, Drake May is, you'll see that happen a lot. Guys will have a breakout year and then the next year come back down to earth a little bit. So I see their production coming down some this year.
Even if they just don't progress much more, the surprise of a second-year quarterback looking like that makes people expect how much better is he going to be in year 3. And then if he's about the same, playing a tougher schedule. Because here's the thing, like New England didn't play a lot of difficult defenses last year. They didn't play very many hard defenses. And when they were in the playoffs, Drake May looked incredibly limited.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Sorry, I watched, like I said, I watched a bunch of his games just on the airplane. He's impressive he was impressive for a second-year quarterback. If what he sees post snap is what he expected to see, he's awesome. If it's not, he really struggles in the pocket and he fumbles a lot.
Let me give you a comparison, and maybe too old for you, but Drake May is Drew Bledsoe.
That's a good comparison.
Tall guy, really good in the pocket. When he knows what's coming, he can hit it. He can throw the ball. Doesn't move good.
Yeah.
There's a better guy for them. He's going to be the quarterback there for a number of years, and he'll be successful.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not a top tier guy. He's not going to raise your organization to where you're going to be in the Super Bowl talk every year.
Right. No, that's what I got from him. As far as mobility, he's
limited.
He's pretty fast. When he can leave the pocket laterally, he's pretty dangerous. When he does not step up in the pocket very well. Every time I saw him step up in the pocket, he was getting sacked. Aside from a couple times he stepped up to run, but he doesn't climb the pocket and deliver the ball. When he needs to go forward, he drops his head, and frankly, he just fumbles. I mean, he fumbled a lot last year. He just puts the ball on the ground. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. So I think playing a tougher schedule with tougher defenses, I just don't see New England being able to be that good offensively, and I don't think their defense gets any better. So we had Buffalo's 3 spot. We had Pittsburgh winning the division and being the 4 seed and it came down to Baltimore has a first-time OC or first-time play caller at offensive coordinator, and a new head coach. And Cincinnati's defense was so freaking bad last year that it's hard to imagine. I mean, they're in that Dallas conversation where they got great skill guys. The quarterback's really good, but they can't run the ball like very well either. I don't know.
I think the best offense you have in that league is going to end up being the most prolific offense in that league, in that division. Is going to be Cincinnati. I think if Burrow's healthy, they're going to put up big numbers in the air. He may be 400 yards one week and 210 the next week, but overall, I think he's going to put numbers up if he's the quarterback. I think that the winner of the division is going to be the Steelers or the Ravens.
You think the Ravens, really?
I think Baltimore has a chance still to win that division. I think the Steelers have a whole lot to prove. New head coach, aging quarterback, very aging quarterback, who I love.
Yeah.
And, I think I could see him winning the division. But
Aging defense.
I can
Aging
also,
defense.
yes, I can also see them just being like they were last year.
I don't see them being what they were last. I do think their offense is going to be better. I love the Mike McCarthy hire. I think it's a great hire. I do. And
I
maybe
think
that's
it's a
for the
good hire,
future and not so much this season.
And I kind of
but
think, what did he do his first year when he went to Dallas? What was that first year like in Dallas? And I don't know. I haven't looked
I
at
don't
it.
remember.
But what was it like? Did he make a big difference the first year
Right.
or not?
Right.
So, and I can see Baltimore. I can just see him being right at the top of the division just because they've got some offensive weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
The
their
hard thing I
defense-
have, yeah,
Their
the hard thing I
defense
have
is
with
decent.
their defense usually is. Last year they were pretty bad. I think.
They were surprisingly bad last year.
Where did they fall in the middle? Did they fall at like 15, 17 or
I had them
they
at the 39th
28?
percentile.
so where does that fall when it comes to league average?
League wide, bottom 12,
Bottom 12, so 20.
somewhere around 18, 20. Yeah.
Yeah.
12 to 14.
And where did you have Pittsburgh's defense?
Let's see. Pittsburgh's defense. Well, they actually made the playoffs. Let me switch pages here. I had about 48th, so just right about average.
So
putting them in that 14, 15.
yeah, so
Slightly better.
Yeah.
slightly better. I think a lot of it depends on Rodgers and where he is, and I love the
I think
guy.
it all does. Yeah.
He's he's a top 10 guy all time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
who
for
is he this year? Big question mark.
Yeah. No, that's fair. We had Baltimore missing the playoffs.
I can
Well, I
see
think-
that.
No, because
Honestly,
we had Cincinnati finishing better than Baltimore.
I can see that. I can definitely. I
could-
can see that.
and depending on how Cincinnati looks defensively, that could be a division where you got to win the division to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Quite honestly,
And if
That's
the
where we came
quarterback
down.
comes
We had
back,
one team in. It was Pittsburgh.
yeah.
if,
So you-
if,
I mean-
if the quarterback at Cincinnati comes back and he's not the same guy, they
Yeah.
might win 3 games.
Yeah.
Because our defense is that bad, and
Yeah.
that's the thing. Baltimore, their defense was worse than you would expect last year, and their offense really struggled at times last year. So that's another
Right.
question. If their offense can be productive, then they could,
A huge question mark. They got a brand new head coach.
So that's that's going to be an interesting division to watch. That's a tough one to call because there's so many question marks, so many moving
Yeah.
pieces going on.
And they always beat up on each other.
We
Totally.
were also looking at Pittsburgh won 10 games last year, won the division, and got in the playoffs. I think Mike McCarthy makes them better. If not this equal production wise is what we were thinking for the most part. I see Baltimore declining, and we already know what Cincinnati and Cleveland are.
No,
If
no,
it
no.
looks
Stop.
similar to last
Stop.
year. No, sorry, I said Cleveland.
You said
Yeah, why'd you
Cleveland.
mention Cleveland?
You opened it up. You knew I was going there.
So I don't think Baltimore is going to get better. I don't really see Pittsburgh getting that much worse, because they would kind of have to get worse on one end of the ball, whether it's defensive or offensive, to lose that spot in the division. And I think Mike McCarthy and Rodgers kind of already have a chemistry, and I think their offense could look considerably better potentially.
But we coming.
We coming.
She was
We're coming.
coming. No, so
If he
the
even
question,
gets to start.
the question mark in my mind is defense. They have an old defense, so that is an area where they could be worse this year
Decline.
than they were last year. That's an area. I don't think they will decline offensively. I think you're right. I think they will be better offensively this year than last year.
Yeah.
But I
So what
could
does their
see a
defense look
decline
like?
defensively. Yeah, because they're aging.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, we had
Whoever
Chargers.
gets that division would kind of be fun. I would kind of want to see
I love
kind
that
of go
division.
through their moves, any of the player moves or anything, and then kind of see what the off seasons looked like.
Yeah,
That
that's
would
going to
be
be
fun
the
to do.
division you guys have to gamble on.
I think that AFC North is the most intriguing division in the AFC.
In the AFC,
I think I
In the
agree.
AFC.
Yeah,
I agree.
I mean, you got 3 teams that could potentially get to the conference finals.
yeah,
I think the Bengals, the Steelers, and the Ravens could potentially get there,
it could. Yeah,
depending on who shows up and how they play.
who
The
they draw
AFC
in the
East has
playoffs.
got 2 teams. We know who those 2 teams are.
Mm-hmm.
The South has 1 team,
One.
One,
Mm-hmm.
and the AFC West has 2 teams. Well, maybe
3
3.
teams, 3 teams.
Come on.
Yeah.
Are you're
Come
counting?
on.
You're
I'm
counting
just
the
kidding.
Chargers? What? Who's counting
We
the
had-
Chargers here?
We had the Chargers as the 5 seed.
I agree. The Chargers are making the playoffs this year.
So you had the Broncos at 1 and the Chargers at 5?
Yeah,
That's what I would have if I were to write it down.
yeah. As far as the Chargers go, I mean, you already know we're a little biased, but we think Willie and I think they have the best quarterback in football. So it's hard to miss the playoffs when your quarterback's that good.
The weapons are such a struggle for them.
Their weapons are brutal, but they did it
I
last year with
also-
the same weapons.
And
They made
Denver's
the
in
playoffs
Denver's
last
in the
year.
same situation, in my opinion.
I mean,
I can't watch any of the off season stuff because it is just a cringe show over there in LA.
Why is
It's
that? What do you?
because they got Mike
is it Mike
McDaniel as the
McDonald?
offensive
Or yeah,
coordinator.
Mike McDaniel.
McDaniel's the offensive coordinator. So he's just a total faggy poo. And then the Justin Herbert thing on the field with the girlfriend.
I'm
Yeah,
telling
bad
you one
taste in
thing.
my
That's
mouth.
weak sauce.
I'm telling you one thing. I got to be honest. The best thing that's happened to the Chargers that's given them the best opportunity to be good is to pair McDaniel and Justin Herbert together. That's the best thing they have going, period. If they're going to get
Yeah.
where they want to go, he's the guy to have for Justin Herbert.
It is a change of scheme.
He's the guy. He's
They move
going
off
to
of
love
Greg
him.
Roman,
You got who's your head coach?
Harbaugh.
Okay, you got your head coach. That's Harbaugh, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you got your OC, who is McDaniel.
Yeah.
He's going to kiss Herbert's butt. He's going to make him feel
True.
like he's good. He's going to be the pep up, and I'm going to keep you going. And you and me, we're the guys. And what's your haircut today? Mine's the same. And all of
Yeah,
that.
I
see what you're
He's
saying.
that guy. If
Yeah.
it doesn't work now for Justin Herbert,
Yeah, it might
he's
never.
he's
That's a good
he's
point.
just a never guy. He's a never guy because this is the
Yeah.
guy for him. Harbaugh's not the guy for him. We saw that.
Right.
So that's what I think anyway.
Interesting.
I do
take.
think it's
Interesting
intriguing
take.
because they moved from that Greg Roman more gap scheme power offense to McDaniel
love-
zone.
I
Zone. It's
I
that
love
Shanahan. It's that
McDaniel.
zone.
I-
That zone heavy.
I
I'm
love
curious
him
to see how that changes their run game effectiveness
as an
and the way
OC
they throw the ball.
as an OC for Justin Herbert. I think that's probably the best move that they could have made. I really do.
I'm
I
not sure
don't
there's
know
a
if it's
better
gonna
move
work
out
or
there,
not,
seeing as everybody
but-
else is a first-time play caller.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess
And
that
I
could
think-
make up for some of their offensive weapons deficiencies is kind of having a gimmicky weird
Creative.
shifts in motions, creating space in
Lots of
weird
motion.
places, different formations, and kind of
Lots of split
gimmicky
zone
style
RPO
of
stuff.
offense,
Split zone RPO,
Yeah,
heavy.
which kind of
Well,
could make
about
up
it
for
for-
some of those
but think
personnel
about it for a second.
deficiencies.
Who did McDaniel have as his quarterback when he was in Miami?
to turn the ball over.
Tua Tagovailoa.
He had to gimmick everything.
Yeah,
I honestly think
he
the
also
guy
had
is a
skill
really
guys
good.
though.
But at the quarterback position, I honestly think that McDaniel's a good offensive coordinator. I really do.
Yeah, No, I'm
I
with you
think
there.
he can do it. I think he can do it, and he's got a really good quarterback. So
Yeah.
I think he's a good play caller.
I mean,
think he's a good play designer.
and they need that. They need that on the offensive line. They have offensive line struggles.
Mhm.
You know, Herbert is one of the most pressured quarterbacks in the league.
you
every
got to
year.
keep him from getting hurt all the
Got to
time.
keep
Well,
him
that
off his
zone
back.
scheme should help their offensive linemen stay a little bit healthier.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Hopefully, it helps their offensive line stay healthier. Hopefully, it helps them move things around a little bit and get more space so that their offensive line isn't quite as taxed. Because the power running game, it taxes your offensive line. Running the ball and pass protection is a lot of tax on your offensive line. So
Right.
having that, and then like Willie said, you know, at the skill position, having that ability to be a little more gimmicky, a little bit more, you know, scheme focused, right? Where you're scheming
Unpredictable.
guys open. Yeah, you're trying to. Well, you're running a play to scheme somebody open, right?
Yeah.
Not running a play that this is the play we run, and then whoever's open, we're gonna right. That might be helpful to open things up offensively for them when they don't really have the guys that they can just go, okay, just beat the guy in front of you.
Just
Right?
win.
Because they
Yeah.
don't have that. They don't have.
I mean, one thing that pops into my mind is how many points did McDaniel put on the Broncos defense 2 years
70.
ago?
70.
70.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't the same Broncos defense, but it wasn't that
It was
far
damn
different.
near.
It wasn't that much different. It was the same DC and a lot of a lot. There's probably 5 starters still, 4
Yeah,
starters.
But I think that was
in
Benito's
defense.
first year.
He wasn't
didn't-
a starter though. He was a situational pass. They brought him on
Yeah.
situational third downs. I mean,
I don't know.
Surtain was still there.
I-
Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure who else was even still there.
I don't think they
I
had
don't know.
Jonathan Cooper. They definitely didn't have.
They didn't.
Hufanga.
No, they didn't know.
Hufanga
Hufanga
was a
was
pickup
new
last year.
last year. They had Alex Singleton, who's gone now, I think, actually.
And they had
And then-
Patrick Surtain.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think
I
so.
think one of their DTs was still there, too. So maybe 3 or 4 guys from that defense. is
No,
still
Singleton's still here.
Oh, he
Surtain
is,
was
gotcha.
there. Surtain
there. Maybe
was
I was
there.
seeing rumors of him leaving.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see because they do need help offensively.
I'm fascinated to
From the
watch the
scheme.
offense. Yeah.
Yeah, they need help
So am
from
I.
the scheme to fill some of those gaps. I think.
If I was to look at this division and rank them, I might pick the Chargers to win the division.
I'm totally fine with that. I can totally see that. We had New England at the 6th seed.
Franklin Myers was traded, John. That's who you were thinking of.
Oh, okay. Yeah, John Franklin Myers. Yeah, I knew he was traded. No, I swear, I thought I saw maybe it was just one of those rumor mill clickbait headlines that said
Yeah,
Alex Singleton
probably.
might get traded or something like that.
Well, I think it took them a while to sign his contract. I think that's what it was.
Or maybe it was when it could have been
Didn't he
that. I
have-
know there was room. I know that people were talking about them moving Jonah Ellis inside. So that might have
Got
been
it.
it too, being like, well, if they move Jonah Ellis inside, then Alex Singleton could go. That kind of thing.
Got it.
I don't know.
Wasn't one of those Broncos linebackers had some kind of I know the one guy had the domestic violence thing.
Yeah,
So who knows if he's going to play this year? But
I think he will. I think
Cooper?
I
I
think
thought-
next year, because the commissioner came down with suspensions.
oh, okay. I
This
thought
last
Singleton
week,
had-
and he wasn't on the list anywhere. So I think it might
Singleton
be
had that
punting till next
testicular
season.
cancer.
Cooper might play the whole
Yeah,
game.
Yeah, and I thought after that, I thought he had some kind of off the field problem too, but I could be wrong.
Maybe. But yeah, New England 6th seed. So not winning the division, but making the playoffs still. And then we had Houston as the 7th seed.
Oh,
We had Cincy and Baltimore both missing. Our first 3 in after Houston. So we did talk about if New England or Houston were to miss, Cincy, Baltimore, and Indianapolis would be the first 3 that are kind of in the hunt there.
it's no, it's the Chiefs.
Well, and the only reason we picked Indy is because their last 7 games,
Their
like,
season,
they
yeah.
could win 6 of
It's
7.
a cakewalk.
They have a cakewalk end of the season schedule.
After
So if they're at
Thanksgiving is
500,
like They
Okay,
got nothing after
so how are
Thanksgiving.
they?
They're
How
at
are they gonna,
500 coming out of Thanksgiving. They could be a 10-win team.
so if Indy is 500 at Thanksgiving,
hmm
what in the world do you guys think the woman's going to do to the locker room?
Well, there's that.
Drag queen
I
story
got to
hour.
be honest. I mean, if
Yeah.
Indy plays like crap at the start of the year,
Who know? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, this is the nature of it. Is that you?
It is.
There's you don't know. You don't know. There's no idea. Yeah. No. You know the funny thing, the funny thing is that they start slow. I could see her doing something that teams never do. Which is
exactly,
just fire a head coach week 4.
exactly.
You know what I mean? And
Yes.
just be like, what are we doing, man? Like, just clean house like in the first
That
quarter
would
of
be
the
so
season.
funny.
That would be
Because I
funny.
got to get ahead of this and I got to make a statement. And it's like,
It kind of makes me want to see it happen.
I do too.
It's got to be something that you think about when you're looking at Indianapolis. Is
Oh,
it is,
100%.
of course.
what
Okay.
happens if? Because that's
What happens if?
Daniel Jones is released week 5 headline.
well, it could be because Daniel Jones is a questionable guy.
The owner's
Especially
taking
with
over
Andrew.
offensive play calling because she thinks she could do it.
If
Yeah.
they release Daniel Jones, then Minnesota can pick him up, and then they're
And then they'll win the
favorite in
Super Bowl.
North.
And then
There you go.
They're the favorite in the NFC North.
they would be,
They absolutely would be.
as long as his Achilles is good. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we had Houston over Cincy's defense. I mean, it was so bad last year.
So bad.
But Burrow missed time last year too, so it wasn't. If he was healthy all year, even with that bad defense, they probably
He
would
takes a load off the defense. He
They
takes
would
a
have
load
missed the
off.
playoffs still, I think, but they wouldn't have been bottom feeders.
They
Because
would've
I
had to
watched
get 9 wins.
the New England Cincinnati game. There's people out there that are claiming that Joe Flacco, produced at a similar level to Burrow. And the number, like the passing yards and completion percentage, they do look like that. But in the New England game, he threw an interception that was like, I don't know if I've ever seen a guy who's played more than 6 years in the league throw this ball. Like it was like, dude, how long have you been in the NFL? Why are you throwing?
Well, that's
football?
That's Joe Flacco. That's
That
always
was
been Joe Flacco.
that's his career.
Yeah.
He
What
had
are you
flashbacks. He had
Yeah.
flashbacks.
Yeah,
was-
seeing ghosts
it was
from
shocking.
2004.
Yeah.
Yeah. He thought he had Akeem the Dream out there, so he could shoot the ball.
Yeah.
That gives me PTSD.
Totally.
All right.
Let me see here.
Cool.
I don't know how much time
Yeah.
we got. I wanted to try to pull this up real quick. Oh man, come on. Dead air.
Soundboard.
That's okay.
Oh,
Why don't
no,
we
that
talk
didn't roll.
while we have dead air? Why don't we talk about the Titans?
Titans.
Titans are going to win 3 games.
I think Titans, Browns, and Dolphins are going to be the top 3 picks.
Okay, let's switch it up here. We know Titans have Cam Warren, right?
Yes.
Okay, and we know he was drafted in the same class as Cleveland's guy, right?
Right. Number 1 overall.
Who's gonna start? Who's gonna start in Cleveland? What do you guys think
Watson.
about that?
Watson has to start.
It's looking like Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
So, what do you think about that? Is he the guy? I mean, do you think
No.
he should start, or
Out of those
I-
two,
I think production-wise, it's kind of the same freaking guy, in my opinion.
you do?
I don't think Shador gives you much less of a opportunity to win games as Deshaun Watson. Based on just pure speculation, because Deshaun Watson hasn't picked up a football in 5 years.
Well, it's been a long time since he was healthy and played
But
football.
based on, I guess I'm basing my my take on what is the news media or whatever come out in Browns camp. But Deshaun Watson does not look good in Browns camp either. I don't think Shador can do it either. But
I got to be
I
honest
just don't
with you,
see.
and you guys know where I fall on Shador, right? And
Yeah.
you know how much I hate John Watson because of his personal past. But I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, Deshaun Watson for 2 or 3 years was the guy.
Yeah, he was one of the best
in
QBs
Houston.
in the
He
league.
was a
He was-
stud.
And if you're Cleveland, you have to at least say, I got to give this a shot. Maybe
That's what I was saying. They
maybe
have to
there's
start him.
enough
You're
left.
paying him so much money.
Well, you're paying him so much money, and he put numbers up.
Yeah.
And your next guy put nothing up and threw more interceptions than touchdowns. So I think they have to go that way.
They have to start that way. I agree. They have to start that way and see where it goes.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I think they have to do that. It'll be interesting. What do you have? John, you're smiling.
Yeah, I got this.
What do
I
you-
got this Flacco. I got this. Flacco
I got to see it. Oh, this is sweet. You got to do this.
So we'll just watch it from the end zone. It's in the second half. I can zoom in if you need, but
I can see pretty good.
Oh,
Oh, my goodness.
the end zone's so funny.
To the house.
He
too,
even
dude.
clutches.
House call.
Well, dude, he throws
He
the
clutches.
flat.
He
he
clutches.
sees the. He
can't.
has
Yeah.
to see the guy.
He
He
sees it.
saw him. He saw him and still tried to throw this ball. Guy's been in the league for 17 seasons.
Every interception thrown this direction right here.
Oh,
is
he
a
was looking
freaking house
elsewhere.
call.
I will give that
He
to him.
was.
If you see his head,
Yeah,
he was
he-
looking elsewhere.
But man,
he's
Wait.
not looking
Where-
into the sun. He's
give me-
looking away from
go
the
to-
sun.
Go to the wide angle, the first angle.
All right. I gotta go back.
Showed you the pre-snap.
This is the problem with this. Is that they have the end zone and the wide angle are they're not it's not listed as two separate plays.
Is this that one tool you have?
Yeah, this is the
Okay.
NFL Plus that we subscribe to.
Oh,
Okay.
you're going to share that with us?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, we'll
I think I
reset
have
it
to
for the
renew
next
it.
season.
I have to renew it before the season starts, but I think
It's
we get
the
it
best
until week
tool.
1.
You, want
can
me to
filter
send you
over
some
here.
money so you
So
can?
this was so easy to find.
No,
just put
we should be
season,
fine.
I can do
season,
that.
week, team,
I'd love to watch
offense.
this.
Yeah, I'll send you guys the login. I'll do it tonight before I go to
Okay.
sleep.
And if you want to help pay him for it this year, yeah, I'll just send you some money. We can help pay for
I
it.
think it's only like $75, so
Okay, so I'll send you 25 or 30
Not too
bucks.
yeah, I'm not worried about it.
Because I watched you guys doing this the other day, and it was like, this is sweet.
It's so fun.
It's the best way to watch games.
So it's so fun.
Yeah, I know you guys talked about it, and I was like, I gotta have it. And I don't have
Yeah,
it.
that's my bad. I just forgot to send it. I'll do it tonight though.
What were you trying to see here, Dad?
I want to see the pre-snap on this. So pause it when the wide receiver stops. Okay,
Okay, so you get
right
set.
here. So what's he reading right here?
Well, you're in here. You're in 2x2, wide side of the field. It depends
So
what
he's-
he thinks they're running here. They're running too high, but it depends. Does he think they're going to get a quarter's look to the field?
Right, but he's got the lead.
Probably
and
not
who
with
makes-
2x2.
Who makes the pick here? So
outside linebacker.
It is the
Yeah,
outside
he's covering
linebacker.
the flat.
so he's not thinking that guy's going to be there.
No.
Because they did play action, and that guy should have stayed home.
Yeah, I'm a little.
Right?
This looks.
He's
Yeah,
got
there's-
nowhere else to go.
This
No,
looks
but he's
like
doing. But he's running play action, right? Or did he?
It was play action.
Yeah, he's running play action. And this linebacker doesn't move on the play action.
he's looking at the corner.
Yeah.
And since the corner drops, he assumes this is going to be wide open over here.
Right.
But
Because the linebacker didn't bite on the play action. If that linebacker, you're pointing at him, if he bites on the play action, that guy's wide open.
it is wide open. Yeah. But not for a second did he bite on the play action. Now, what was the down and distance here?
If he'd have just thrown
3rd and 6.
3rd and 6.
3rd and 5. It looks like 3rd and
2nd
6.
and 5.
Oh, 2nd and 5.
Okay.
I couldn't tell if that was a 3 or
So
2.
he is fully expecting him to bite on the play action
He's going to bite on that fake handoff.
because they're running this condensed formation. No, he's just man on the running back.
Yeah, he's just man on the running back, so he just follows him.
If he hitched, if he wouldn't have hitched, he would have got it to him.
He hitched
Right.
towards the
Well,
corner.
he
though.
hitched on the he hitched on that comeback that the
Right.
wideouts
He was still looking to throw the comeback.
This is odd here, though. This is odd.
I don't know what they're running.
Because if you were
on the
running
back.
cover 3, he would be expanding. It looks like you're running quarters here, quarter, half.
That's exactly.
And he's just man up over here.
Yeah.
But regardless, like if it was a true cover 2, he would sit here.
You're right.
And I mean, whether this is cover 3 or quarters, this linebacker's got to be here. So he must have just.
You still can't make that throw. On
It's
second down.
the hitch. It's the
You
hitch.
can't make that throw.
No, can't. I see
It's
why
there.
it happened now.
Oh, it's like Cam Ward out there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, look, this is a nickel defender, though.
Right.
Right? This is a nickel corner. So they're running quarters to the nickel. Dude, this is not, you can't make this throw. That's not an outside linebacker. That's a defensive back. And as soon as you see that corner drop with number 1, you have to know that nickel's expanding with your running back.
That's true.
There's no way around it.
Yeah, and they rushed for.
It's not a
no
matchup that
blitzer,
he's going to
no-
win.
No pressure, really.
Yeah, there's no pressure. They didn't bring any.
No.
There's no
This guy's
blitzing
not
back.
wearing-
They just rushed for.
And he's not wearing 50 something. This is not a
Look at this.
linebacker. This is
No,
not a
no
matchup
pressure
that
at
you-
all. Why is he
Freaking out and
frantic?
hitting the check down
He
like
gets
that.
frantic.
don't
There's no
know.
pressure. I mean, this ball should be sailed over that running back's head.
But this is one of the ones that you watch and you're like, okay, keep telling me that Joe Burrow doesn't make them better last year. Keep telling me Joe
Right,
Flacco is just as
absolutely.
good in this offense as Joe Burrow. Give me a break.
Right. Right. They had to pare the whole thing down to allow him to even run it.
Right.
And even then, he's throwing pick sixes in the flat to a nickel defender.
W- 3 steps too late.
Yeah, I want to watch the end zone again, or I want to watch the sideline again. Sorry.
Hey, Vinny, is this just like watching film on Sunday with your coaches?
No, it's a little different.
How?
Well, we don't feel any
We don't
responsibility to
Actually,
fix it.
analyze things like that.
You don't actually get into that kind of detail?
Football.
Football. I don't know. Did he just expect? No. What are we doing?
Well, at this point, he's still looking to throw the comeback.
No. But what I'm saying is, how much did he just determine pre-snap that he was going to throw the comeback? Because when you see the corner drop with him, how much separation do you really expect him to make on this comeback? When the safety drops to the quarter and the corner's dropping with 1, it's an out.
he's
though.
running an
I mean,
out.
No, it's not a
hard
comeback. It's a bad route.
Yeah, let's
he
watch
kinda
the
gets
route.
eaten
Just
up
a bad
here.
route.
Just watch
It's a
the
bad
route.
route.
The guy gave up on it, didn't he?
Yeah. That's
DB just
exactly
eats his
what
lunch
happened.
right here.
Because you
And the-
usually
the
don't throw a
receiver
comeback
just
this
quits.
far inside.
And so he's hitching to try to get ready to throw on this break, and the receiver gives up on the route.
The receiver
Totally.
the DB just eats his lunch.
Yep.
Totally. Watch how soft
Is
this
that
break
Jamar
is.
Chase?
No,
That's-
that's T. Higgins.
That's
That's the other guy making $40 million. What a
Yeah, he
weak
just got
ass
owned.
break, dude.
Dude.
So that's what it was. Flacco's getting ready to throw that on time out of the break. The guy gets eaten up right at
Then
the
he
break.
panics.
Then he
Are the
panics.
corners hip?
Yep.
Are the corners hips pointed to the middle of the field? I bet they are.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he's seeing
Yeah.
these hips, and what should be a break
Yep.
opposite the
He,
hips.
he bumps.
open
He
field.
just runs and bumps. Yeah.
He just runs and bump. Well, but
You're
like
right.
this. But
It's
look
just
at
a
where
bad
he ends
route.
up.
He's playing defense right there. Watch him. He's putting his hands out.
And look at where he ends up right here.
He's putting his hands out already.
By the time he starts breaking down at like the 48, and it's 4 yards before he actually gets lateral.
Yep. This looks like the receiver knows at that right there.
Watch him breaking down
in
here.
the ball.
He's chopping.
He knows he's not going to beat
Right.
that defender,
Yep.
so he gives up.
But if he runs this hard to the sideline, there is
He's
an
open.
opportunity to be. Well, you're in front of him, and you can win a contested catch here, even if he's smothering you or get a pass interference.
Right.
But he slowly breaks this and pushes him. What a joke!
Yeah.
Bad all around.
Bad all around. Yep.
Keep telling me Joe Burrow's not very good.
Right.
Crazy.
For sure.
That's a great tool.
They also had a crosser coming across the middle. That if he'd have looked there first, if he'd have recognized quarters coverage on that side, you wouldn't throw the out. And then
Right,
you
if
get
you
this
would've- if you-
crosser in
right.
between the two linebackers playing hook curls. So if you watch the bottom route on this crosser,
You got a tight end or a wide
You
receiver?
From
could-
one
it's a wide out. Yeah.
from the receiver. Oh yeah, dig route here.
Lots
You
of
could
room there,
split
too.
that. Yeah.
I
you could
do
split
think
that back turn.
14.
I'm saying before, right on the break, because you can't wait till he crosses the middle of the field as well. Because that
Right.
Mike linebacker drops straight to the middle.
Right, but look at his hips. He's running this. He's gonna wall. If Flacco looks to his left, this linebacker is gonna wall this route off.
Close it out.
You know what I'm saying? Once he
Yeah,
sees
he
he's
changes
looking,
his hips after
he's
sets
looking
his
over
feet.
here. That's when because what he's actually doing is running the wall. Because he turns outside, and Burrow never
Does,
turns. Or,
then he
not Burrow.
turns
Flacco
over
never
to
turns
the
his
other
head.
side.
Because I think if he keeps looking left, he's just going to keep climbing
you're
vertical
right.
and look for that number one route to the inside.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because he opens his hips the other way after Flacco commits to the right.
Yeah, and if Flacco looks here, his head would look right here. Boom.
Play it for one more second.
He's already
He has
turned.
another check down. He has another check down on the other side from this
He
tight
does.
end
He's
that's
checked out
blocking.
over here. Yeah. But I don't think he identified the coverage properly. I don't think he identified this nickel would be in the flat. I don't know how. Maybe he can't really see him, but brutal. Brutal.
Brutal. All right, guys.
Yeah, I don't know how much more time you guys have. I'm probably gonna shut.
Yeah, I probably got to get to bed here pretty
Got
quick.
all the time in the world.
So we'll do full breakdowns of AFC next week.
Yeah, I can text you guys with
Divisions.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
cool.
unless you guys want to
Then-
pick now.
Anybody
Oh,
have
you can do
a?
Next.
Anybody want a certain division?
I don't care.
I don't care.
Vince? Really?
No preference.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
just
just text
throw-
you guys tomorrow.
Just throw them out there.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Cool. All right. Talk to you later, guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Later, boys.
Hey guys.
Win the toss, win the game.